Overall for the market, just went green once again for the S&P 500. NASDAQ has been green for a while, still holding on to a 0.3% advance. Yeah, that's a board right now. I mean, down here, we're seeing all kinds of green once again coming back into NVIDIA, Apple, Broadcom, AMD, Intel, among others. Google with a nice bounce back day as well. Basically, everything else on the board red, including banks. Once again, they had a nice two-day move coming off the Fed back on Wednesday. We have Visa and MasterCard back downside again today, coming off again 2 days in a row. Pretty positive for both. Tesla downside, we'll tell you well coming up here in a few minutes. 1.46% right now, well off the lows. It's been a slow grind back to the upside for Tesla. I went out to weekly charts here because I was just reading that we're approaching the best week of the year, best weekly performance of the year for the S&P 500. This is the SPY, obviously. I mean, oh no, it is the SPX. Never mind. I had the SPY up earlier. So this was the prior best week of the year. So we are very close to meeting that. It was 3.35% that week. We're at around 2.86% right now for the S&P. So still some time left in the day, possibly get that milestone. Before the weekend, CGC continuing to run here on that Germany note. I mean, there's a bit of a short percent small float after the reverse split for CGC. Ton of volume at day highs here. A little bit of profit taking coming back in right now. Still 53.5% though to the upside for CGC. The SPY, basically back to day highs here for the NASDAQ and the SPY. As we near, I saw this note as well, we near the best week of the year so far for the S&P 500, NASDAQ already there. Bitcoin downside, we have gold downside I saw, we have the dollar downside, yields across the board coming off today, helping markets bounce back a little bit here. If you're with us this morning, we talked about a whole bunch of things as far as what was moving around on an individual basis. We can get into a bit of a review of some of those right now. We were talking about day two coming through for this one, Reddit. It's been a bit of a back and forth kind of a day, guys, for Reddit as we get going on a Friday afternoon. Brankles is back in for Neil.
Oh boy, we're back.
So it's always so funny.
Another session.
It's always so funny, Brankles.
What? Yeah, I don't know. It is what it is.
Oh, look.
What's that? Brankinator? I'll take it. I like the glasses.
I think that's pretty cool.
I have Neil's here. I could
Come out with anything cool like that. There we go. Now you're more serious. Yeah, now people will take you more serious. Like, you know, when Neil wears those, they take him so serious. And then now for you, you get to go there as well. But welcome back, Brankles.
Thanks for having me.
We nailed
guys.
that CGC trade. I mean, it's just huge. We talked about that $7 level. Looks like it's breaking through there right now. We've got a short on Meta that we were just taking about $1 on or so when it was down there at 508.50. We were talking about this trade throughout the midday there a little bit as we go into it. We did get a nice, I thought I tweeted this out a long time ago when I went for the walk right after the show, but this is what it was like here. As you know that, Brankles, you might have been outside here, but it was snowy early. It's fine now. It's completely fine. I was just outside. There's pretty much snow on the ground, but not on the roads. It has melted right there. So that's what we had, on our walk, talking some stock there with a little bit of snow today. So it's been nice. It's been nice. Neil's down there in Dunedin, hopefully enjoying that, saying that it's raining at the baseball game that he's at right now. So hopefully the Jays have started. I think there was a little bit of a rain delay there, but
gotcha.
Yeah. So we're ready to rock and roll into a Friday, looking for some good opportunities. Like I said, we're long Google right now, short Meta, and seeing what happens here at 18.6, Bitcoin 63.7. Did you get into any trades over lunch or?
No. I'm usually not a big midday trader, and obviously today's kind of like an outlier day for me. So I kind of just chilled by my desk, talked to some of the guys in the back, and had some chicken, so that was good.
Good, I like that. Yeah, I saw that chicken there. I don't think there was enough left for Ty. I think he left. He's mad. He went home. No, but all right. So talk about Reddit. Look, we'll talk about this tonight on the podcast for sure. I mean, what a successful IPO, honestly, and I feel that it's successful because it's still hanging around here even day two. So now that we can digest what happened during the first day on Reddit, obviously a huge open. This is to be expected. Then the fade. I think that fade was a little bit more than expected. You never want to break that first price, especially on day one. But I just feel like, you know, we got the trade that we wanted. We talked about this down here. It's on the sticky note. It's the number 2 trade idea here on the sticky note this morning. Buy these dips in Reddit, and it happened. I feel like a new man here, Brankles, because we were really patient with that.
Yeah.
Like sometimes I'll average in there or take the first position here at bottom support, then load up down there, and then if it breaks, we're screwed because we already have such a bad price because of that first wick. But we waited. The only problem is we only have one in. We could have reloaded it there, but there was our out. We were tweeting it out. We were actually up here a little bit higher than 51. Remember, we sort of joked about the prices, and I was like, how about 51.50? Well, that's where I was waiting. So that didn't come in, unfortunately. And we missed it, and then we played the 50-period moving average. So it's a big one, man. It's $4. That's 45.50 long. That last out on that break is a break of 49.25. So about 4.75 in our pocket there. We're pretty happy with that trade.
Yeah, I was talking with some of the guys at the back about, okay, fine. You don't take the initial long off the morning rip at 45. I think that's very okay. It did come down pretty heavily. However, when it made that higher low, you know, I talked about your mom's stop and your grandpa's stop, but 45 is probably, guess who? Your broker stop.
Okay, I like
right?
that. That
so
makes
they
sense.
didn't stop out the brokers today at 45. So when it made that higher low, I think that was a really good entry point and something that we're going to talk about in future meetings. Because I think 45 being that all-time low, being that first day low, is a huge, huge level. And I think something to learn from for like the next IPO and like the next IPO and the next IPO. Because the beauty is, yes, maybe people didn't do that well yesterday or didn't do as well as they want on Reddit today, but we could take these patterns and take these lessons and push that into the next IPO and the next second day IPO and kind of get that experience in without actually needing to get in the reps every time.
All right, Randy's coming up here in a few minutes. We'll touch on some EV action this afternoon as well. Yeah, just reading through some of these headlines coming across out of the UK, it's pretty sad, man, that Kate Middleton, it looks like, has or is being treated for cancer, and that was the reason for the surgery back in January. So that's rough.
She's been getting the treatment from the media too, Brendan.
Yeah, no, of course. Yeah, tough for her. But anyway, let's talk about Lululemon here. A huge move down after the close yesterday. It was the forecast on the earnings that was worse than expected. We get the follow through this morning. Never want to see that. There was really no bid at the open, just continuation all the way down to 390. Back above 400 here now. We'll see if we can hold 400 going into the end of the day.
Look, I mean, they beat on the top and bottom line. So with respect to the current quarter, they did really well. It was really the guide here and North American sales, which is their biggest market, that there was a biggest drop in. They grew in some other industries and some other geographical locations, but North America by far the biggest. They guided $2.18 to $2.2 billion in revenue for the next quarter. The street was looking for $2.25. So you saw the precipitous sell-off.
Yeah, 400 key here for Lulu, guys. Still pretty ugly, 15% today.
I was just listening. So I think Kate, she's out of surgery now or something. So I think it's we'll hope for the best for that. Okay, so Lululemon. We just covered. I just want to talk about Meta quickly because we just got a little piece out there of Meta. So out there again at 70 as we fell back in there. So we'll like that trade and see if we can hold on to it for a little bit here on Meta for the short. So okay, Lulu. All right. Good day. You had a trade on Lulu, didn't you, earlier?
Yeah, I could talk about it a bit. So I did take that first consolidation hold of low a day long. Had 2 ads in it, but I'm really happy. I had my stop in. Really happy with how I stopped that trade out. Obviously, it kept dipping down to this kind of 387 level. Another kind of consolidation low. If I was still trading, like at my own desk, I would have probably taken it again. And look, it did have quite an aggressive mean reversion back. So this is a trade that I really like. I take often. I know Neil talks about it from time to time on the show as well. And definitely a missed opportunity for me today. But hey, like, you know, I'm going to be back Monday and there will be more opportunities.
Yeah, I just wanted to give that over to you because I want to talk a little bit about Nike as well. And I mean, we talked about that earlier at that 92 level and seeing if it was going to hold. We went short there, and then we kind of just started to short it against VWAP. It was always working. It was always working. And I just want to say, like, this to me is how you play defense on a stock. Mm-hmm. You want to talk about that midday show, you know, how to trade uptrends and, you know, shorting trends against you, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, right here, I think this is a good example where we kept on playing pops and then getting out on some of the drops before eventually it wound up breaking. So Nike really battling back off that level. And yeah, I think it was a nice turnaround for some of these retail names today. Good for them, but still pretty nice misses on both ends of the spectrum here for both Nike and Lulu. And down 6 here and still down 15 over there on Lulu. So a little bit of work to do before we close that gap.
Let's talk Tesla here, back to the upside as well. 170 comes back into play. It looks like it's going to hold here, or trying to hold anyways this afternoon after 2 days in a row here downside. We were just talking about this note, 370 Cybertrucks in the Texas Gigafactory. I guess that's quote unquote ramping up production, but I don't know, we'll see.
Well, I was just telling you off camera that I'm seeing a lot of reservations now being sold off. And the ETA for those who have reservations for Canada is June of this year. So that's right around the corner. So it makes sense that they're scaling this. But the headline today, Brendo, was about the reduction in working hours for the Shanghai facility. Workers there were working about 6.5 days. They've now been asked to only take on 5 days because of the lessened demand for the Model Y and Model 3.
Yeah, there was this move downside during the midday as well. There was CNBC was talking about overall a slowdown in EV sales this year so far around this time. So I didn't see there was a few of these. Rivian as well had a similar move back downside during that time. But here we are back to day highs almost.
Right, so Tesla, I mean, Meta pending right now. Tesla's going to be my #1 stock. And again, I feel like we fought the law today, Brankles, and the law did not win, actually. Yeah. Because, you know, the trend was here. We're just breaking rules, man. We keep on going short this name, and then eventually we wound up getting a great level there at 170. We'll try to zoom in a little bit. I was talking with Ty, and I was talking with some of you on the show, and I was like, I don't understand why we came in here with what I thought was such negative catalysts with Tesla and the weaker sales in China, them cutting production over there, weak EV sales worldwide anyways. We did get a story yesterday about possibly selling more in Europe. So I feel like there's a lot of mixed kind of back and forth relationships with the media and Tesla and what gets reported and what doesn't. But anyways, we wrote down 170. So we really had to sort of take it here. We realized that, and again, I hope when you're watching this, and this was during the show and I was talking about it, you could see my average price was always in and around here, 169. So when it came up into 170, that's when we put on our biggest piece. You know, that's what we wrote down. That's the level that we liked. We like even dollar levels. So then when this came back into 168.50, I mean, that's when, you know, the register started getting rung. And then we just did the same thing again, hit it again until eventually we broke. We gave it a little bit of room there, up 50 cents. So when we're making, you know, $1 and starting to piece that out and then $1.50, $1.30 on the downside, you know, you can hold a little bit there. So we got nervous. And I think that that's where you have those spidey senses where you just realize sometimes, hey, this trade is potentially not right.
Yeah.
And you want to get out of it as fast as you can. And we did a good job there with Tesla. I mean, you know, to not take that hit, we would have been up more. But it's my #1 P&L stock today. So I can't be upset with the way we traded it, really.
Yeah, so I talk a lot with the guys at the back, like, when it comes to trading, like, you're gonna take L's, unfortunately, but it's like how you take them. So it's one of those things where Tesla is in this downtrend, right? Even today, even though the chart looks like it's going up, like, it's still minus 1.5 on the day in terms of where it was at compared to the close yesterday. And it's like, do you really want to be losing long this stock right now when it's such a downtrend, or do you want to look for shorts and then be okay, willing to lose on the short side, right? Because more often than not, when a stock's in a downtrend, you're going short, you're going to make money. And obviously vice versa if it's long in an uptrend, right? So kind of Sean had the idea today where he's like, look, Tesla's obviously weak. I'm going to take shots going short. And I think, like, that's the type of mentality that traders need to have more often, be like, how am I willing to lose rather than how am I willing to win, right? So losing short Tesla today, even though I'm not saying he did, obviously he didn't, but it's just like that's the type of mentality that I'm trying to bring into my trading more and more and more, where it's like IPO on Reddit, I'm not willing to lose short.
Right.
IPOing Reddit or like on Reddit on the first day, but I'm willing to lose like taking shots at the long, right?
Yeah, so more to that point, I mean, that's exactly dead on. More to that point was that I try to have a bias every single day on, I mean, that's why that was sort of the start of this, was that try to figure out, okay, are we short and for what reason? And that's why on today's sticky note, we said like, these
Makes
should
sense.
be negative catalysts for Tesla. So we're looking short.
Yeah.
You don't want to short the IPO. That makes sense. Nor did I. And we didn't. So, you know, it's that kind of stuff. And lose smartly, win smartly. And at the end of the day, hopefully we're smart enough to survive.
Yeah. Hopefully we're smart enough to be here on Monday. I might not be.
You'll be here on Monday.
Okay.
Oh, by the way, the weather, like I was saying before, I think your trip, was it Ottawa?
Ottawa, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's back on, man.
We'll see.
Yeah, I think you should go.
I mean, I don't make those decisions.
Does that mean you're here Monday or no? It's a longer...
No, I'm here Monday.
Okay, you're here Monday.
Yeah.
Just a
No,
quick-
Wayne's on vacation. I have to be here.
Oh, he's on vacation all week?
For like 2.5. He'll be back.
2.5 weeks?
I think in April he'll be
What?
back. Yeah, beginning of April.
Wayne, good
He's
for-
going to Hong Kong.
Wow, good for... Oh, well,
Yeah.
I guess if you're going, you got to commit.
Yeah, that's not that's not a weekend trip.
Yeah. Oh, okay, cool. Well, hey,
Yeah.
congrats to and congrats to Wayne, and I hope he's having a good time there. That's awesome. All right, we'll see him in 2 weeks, and we'll see you on Monday for sure. But you're not going anywhere. Let's go
I'll
back
be
over.
here.
Yeah, let's go back over to the desk.
Let's go to Google here. A nice day as we saw on the sector board here for Alphabet. 2.2% back to the upside again. Back above 150 and firmly holding, in fact. Not a lot of volume or action right now, but Wedbush putting it on their top picks list this morning. There was all these headlines earlier in the week regarding Apple and the AI side of things as well. So as the daily chart shows over here, a pretty good couple of weeks for this one.
Yeah, the Wedbush thesis is that Google is best positioned here with the most amount of data to train their LLMs on. So Wedbush analysts basically arguing that, you know, YouTube, Android, and other Google applications are the perfect base for training that large language model, and he puts Google as one of the big winners of AI.
Yeah, bounces off 130. It's been no looking back ever since, guys, on the daily chart for Google.
Kablam. Kablam. Kablam.
move.
Blam. It has to make no sense. That's the fun part about it. Okay, again, another one. And the funny thing is that basically all of the sticky notes that we'll have written down will be because we've looked at the watch list. Get the watch list.tradertv.live, and then also, you know, other sort of themes that we've been working with in the past. So Google, we've talked about this. I had it on the long yesterday. I really like this name. Forget about the news today from Wedbush. I mean, obviously it's great sending this name up 2%. And as my largest holding, we will go yes for that one because we are now implementing, and I want to thank Brendan for this, of course. We are now implementing the buy and never sell strategy. So more upgrades, the better for now.
Mm-hmm. That sounds like the Warren Buffett play.
It is. It's the Warren Buffett play. And it's not, we kind of joke about this, but like we don't, we're just giving our own financial advice about what we do with our own portfolios and things like that. But ideally, a name like Google, and I think this is why you want to listen to people that are through Wedbush and this and that, is that they're going to analyze.
They do research.
Right, exactly. No, that's what I'm saying. I'm taking this play because I love the macro idea.
Yeah.
You know, what Google means for us, what it means for AI, the story with Apple and them integrating Gemini into their platform because, you know, Apple doesn't need to worry about doing that. They can go out and purchase this. They can have a very similar agreement with Google as they do with Chrome.
Yeah.
You know, like when you buy your iPhone and you open up your phone, it has Chrome automatically installed.
That's true.
Right. So they already have a deal there with Apple and Google to say, okay, we'll pay you for every single install is 20 cents or whatever it is. So they'll do that with AI, and I think that'll be a good idea. But today, so we wrote that down. We really like that. We like the gap fill back into here. The problem is it just got going real fast. If we can come over to the chart, Fabian, quickly. There was the move early. It broke through. And I remember me and you were sitting here and I was like, yeah, you know, it's coming up to 150. But the problem was it just got there so quickly.
Yeah.
And we were looking.
No man's land kind of.
Yeah, no man's land. And then plus we were also thinking to ourselves like, hey, self, what about shorting Tesla? So we didn't want to go too long here while we were shorting Tesla, let the market figure it out, and the market gave us the answers. So when we get these moves, we do like to look at VWAP. It was the #1 indicator that I showed Adara the very first day she started. And I just think it's safe to do that. You got to find bottoms here. So this was a little bit of a smaller trade because we weren't sure where the bottom was. Then when it came back in, we wanted to respect that there. We were probably going to hold this down to 150. Either way, we don't have a huge position on this, but we went from recent support up to the 200 period. So that is a long. Well, you can see we still have it. So this is a long at 150.35, and it's at 86 right now. So a nice 50-cent winner for Google. I say stay the course.
Yeah, it's interesting. I feel like a lot of traders on our floor don't really talk about Google too much or really trade it too much. So it's interesting to see it today because it's not something I really track that often because people don't trade it. But yeah, huge uptrend for Google since it bounced 100 and just never kind of looked back. That's back in March of last year, looks like down here. So yeah, obviously great company. We use it every day, and kind of like we were saying on Tesla, like Google's in an uptrend. That's a long that you want to be looking for rather than trying to short it every day to fight the trend.
Just before we go back, I just was, you might have seen us getting a little bit excited there because Brankos, guess what? It's the afternoon dollar club.
Oh,
so
wow.
Sometimes you don't go to the clubs, this early in the day. But we'll do it right now. We'll go to that club, and there goes Meta. So we'll cover some at 50 right now. That's the dollar. We're going to wait for lower, man. We just put one at 508.30s. So a couple more pennies down. We'll get those fills. And then we wait for VWAP, and we'll see if this market does want to retrace back a little bit. Let's see if, here we go, Brankos. Now the dollar club is on the ask. So we could slap that ask. Oh, there it is. Boom. We'll face slap instead as we get those fills on the downside. So it is. Shout out to someone who's maybe in the club right now as well. Another one. Shout out for DJ because there's another one, Brankos, and one more for everybody there live on the show. So, all right, back over. Oh, here we go. Apple and Baidu. Let's go talk about another big one.
It's a bit of a fade, to say the least, this morning. We were sitting here when this popped up to 108. On this note this morning that Apple was apparently, this is all pre-market, was apparently talking to Baidu over use of their AI over in China. Quickly gets faded all the way back to we're all the way back at this point, 102 now for Baidu.
It's tough to beat Chinese ADR in 2024, Brendo. That's just the way it is, and probably going to the way to be until the politics changes. But yeah, what we're looking at here is Apple looking to use Google for their AI generation for the North American set or the English speaking, and looking to use Baidu there for their AI generation for all the Chinese users that are using iPhones there. So we'll have to see how they do. It was a good look for Baidu, gets faded.
Yeah, overall Apple, as you guys were mentioning, kind of hanging out, 172.5 here, up, still positive on the day anyway.
Really starting to get some spice here with Meta. Okay, and I just want to say to everybody else, we just discussed this again. Randy will be coming on shortly, so that should be a lot of fun. We'll have Randy coming through, and yeah, get ready. Everyone's got to get ready for that. I may punch out of a little bit more of Meta here. I know we're a little bit off talking about Meta, but I'm going to take one more fill if we can get it. Okay, Apple. So did we trade Apple today? And looking at my blotter is going to say no, so that makes sense. And then, I don't know. Yesterday was a tough one because that was down that 4%. It's nice to be up again today, so that's nice. So the second day play here seems to be long, which is really great. The problem for me is that we failed today. I mean, we talked about this name really early, and I said the only level we want to buy, Brankles, was 170.
Oof.
Oof.
Oof. Do you have an oof button?
I don't have an oof button. Can we, Fabian, can we get an oof button?
He says there is an oof button.
There is? Where? Oh, the Roblox one. No, I want one of those Batman one, oof. Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah, thanks for the contribution there, Brankles. You just got us really offside there.
There, I helped.
Okay, I like that one, downside. All right. So anyways, yesterday was a big move down for Apple, but we missed that level there today. I like the 170. I think we actually wrote it down on here. Not on here. Must have been somewhere else. That we liked the 170 for the long. Until we get below it,
yeah.
I'm thinking about a long until we crack that level. So I like Apple here today. I think we can leave it alone. I mean, we've got this Meta short, we've got the Google long, so we're kind of picking our poison right now. But I like the story here about Baidu. I think that if you can train, and we talked about their integration with Gemini, but again, they're huge. They're 20-something% of sales, I guess, in China. So that's going to be a huge level of success if they can integrate a Chinese AI potentially into that platform and give the people a choice. Maybe you could choose which AI you'd want if you but remember, if they use Gemini, Google products are blocked in China.
Interesting. You know a lot.
Pardon?
You know a lot of stuff. I don't know any of this stuff. This is great. This is great stuff. In terms of my take on Apple, I kind of mentioned it earlier. You kind of mentioned it earlier where it's like, this is what I like to see in a healthy market is the fact that like big names like Tesla and Apple aren't at their all-time highs, but the market is still holding up strong. So even though Apple's like, I would say relatively flat today, kind of went to 172, 170, we're back here. Overall, like the big picture is like, this is nowhere near all-time highs, but the market is still holding up strong. So for me, I really like to see that. I feel like that's a really healthy market environment we're in right now.
Yeah, are you buying stock now for long term, or do you? What do you do? Do you do every month?
You want to hear the special sauce? The investing
I would
sauce?
love that. I mean, I'm the worst investor of all time.
Okay, so I think everyone tries to invest the trade, right? Everyone calls themselves an investor, but they're always making trades. So it's like you have to kind of denote the difference between the two. Like a trader is kind of shorter term timelines, whatever, even from minutes to like 1 or 2 years, right? Whereas like investor is more kind of like the Warren Buffett approach, I would say, where you just like buy companies, and as long as they're good companies, you're going to continue to hold. I kind of do an invest the trade strategy, that being said, and if I follow the VIX a lot. I know like back in the day when Sharif was one of the trainees, I would have a morning meeting every day, and the first thing I would talk in the morning meeting was about the VIX. So for me, it's like at these levels, I don't really like buying because I'm like more of a contrarian person in general. So when the VIX is a lot higher, like, so I think the average all time for it is like just under 20. So one standard deviation away from 20 is like 28, 30. So I'm buying a lot when the VIX is really high, and I'm looking to sell whatever investments I have kind of in these ranges. So if, I'll be even more specific. If I get an alert and the VIX is like crossing 12, I'll probably be selling stuff. And then once it crosses 10, so 10 or under, I'll probably be all cash at that point.
Yeah,
so I don't know. It's just like a personal.
I'm the same way. I've actually never done the like drip in, except for my kids' RESP, where that's their education fund. So
and that's only getting more expensive.
School?
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is that what are you going to do? So, I mean, university right now, I don't know. Some people think it's, I don't know. So I just feel that there's so much experience you can get in life as well.
Yeah.
That I'm interested to see how much, and I still think university is super important. I mean, Baxter's in it right now, and I'm saving up for my kids as well. It's just the more and more opportunity that's given to the kids these days. Like I know my kids are into coding and into all this kind of stuff, and they're learning so much so young right now that I don't question the the university and what it means as an institution or anything like that, and what it means for development of experiences. Because I think that the experience that you get in university, just going there, is quite something.
You just getting, especially for people getting out of the house. I would say,
exactly.
I actually used to talk about this with the manager in the past, and like we have a lot of young people that come onto the floor, and you see a huge difference into the young people that actually went through university living at home versus living away. And it's such a big, like you were saying, like experience to kind of, when you're relatively young, whatever, 18, 19, to get out of the house and to really experience life on your own and to be responsible compared to like, living those formative years at home. Hey.
He's here, baby.
All right. He's taking over for a bit.
Oh wow, and I get a coffee. Wow, this is something. This is a special one. Okay, thank you, Brankles. You'll be back though. We'll talk to Randy for a couple of 10, 20 minutes here. He will be here with us today, Mr. Randy. Okay. All right. Are we done with the board, or do we want to go back to the desk, or? No? Okay. All good, all good. All right, let's go. So today, a lot of people in the chat, I know we just got sort of off topic there with, but, you know, CGC today. All right, I mean, can we find out like what the exact specific news was with CGC, or is this just the fact that it is completely short floated out? What is the short float here for CGC? Because we talked about it. It wasn't as high as I thought it was. Wasn't it in the 20s? No, so only 6% here for CGC. ACB is 21. That's the one. Tilray rate here is 15. So actually, I take that back completely. It looks like CGC is the least shorted out of all of the weed names. So, all right, what's going on? So basically, I would assume that they're the ones that have the big exposure here to the German market. So, yeah, we'll just, reclassification, said Tara is Chief Executive Officer of Canopy. We're thrilled to be able to continue serving the medical community. Okay, so into medical marijuana there and whatnot, and products and whatnot, byproducts into Germany. So there goes CGC. And we actually talked about this earlier in the day. It's up to 740 right now. We talked about this earlier in the day that, you know, that $7 level there on CGC could be something again. So let me just look at this real quick as Randy's going to get locked and loaded here. These are those levels right there. You know, not to tell anybody what to do, obviously, because everybody's going to do what they're going to do anyways. But this is a decent level coming up here into $8. There's always two ways of looking at this stuff. Once it gets to $8, like that's where everyone's thinking about covering. You know, what if that doesn't happen? You know, what if? So the next thing you're going to know here is you could blast through that level, and then all of a sudden the short goes up from 6% to 15%, and then you get the jet fuel to get through $10, and then who knows how, I'm not going to say it, how far this one goes. Not how, you know, marijuana stock. All right, so that's where we are right now with CGC. I'm going to look to trade that here this afternoon, so stay tuned for that one. I'm going to have to find out if we have to pay for shorts. Remember, this is a recent reverse split name, so when you're going to see it down here on my chart, it's going to look like we have a huge move up, but realistically, it's a huge move up. It's 50%, but I'm just trying to adjust my chart there. We did have a split right there, so this gap is what did not actually happen. It pretty much reverse gapped the other way, and just our chart can't go below zero, basically, because you went from, this was 50 or so cents. Now, like Fisker, and you know how appropriate when we have Randy right here, I actually, and oh God, there's two of them? That's a problem. All right, so let me see what Fisker's at right now. I actually took a stupid shot at this, dropped a couple $100 into this stupid name here, hoping that we can buy a couple coffees if this name finally got going, and if someone said, you know what, for what they've developed and maybe for the technology they have, I don't know. Apparently those things on the roof don't even charge cars, those panels. I took a shot here to see if there was going to be something coming for Fisker, and I actually remember taking a similar shot down here saying, oh my God, we're out of the money so much. This is a degen move, by the way. Out of so much money on CGC, let's take a shot down here. Then a reverse split. It's still a disaster. But down there was 50 cents. Now you're basically up to 70 cents. Now, so nice little move back for Canopy growth. I'm feeling like we want to short it, but I'd rather to go long. So let's wait for a 50 period pushback into 7 before we get long here on CGC. So, hey man.
What's up?
Oh, chilling out. How are you?
I'm good.
Yeah, I've been doing pretty good here today. Neil's over there at spring training. You ever been to spring training?
Nope.
No? Okay.
No, I've not.
I went once when I was
Love
young.
to go.
That's a great time.
Would love to go.
You said some picture. There was, it looked rainy there, you mentioned. There was a little bit of a rain delay.
Still better than the snow we're getting here.
Yeah, but you know what? That snow is actually, have you been outside recently? I think like it's okay. Is it starting up again?
North of here, it's not.
Oh, north
so
of here
much
where you live.
fun.
Okay. All right. I just want to say right now, put some questions. If you have any automotive questions or maybe even energy. I know you've been looking at oil and nat gas.
I've been looking at FedEx because.
Or FedEx. Do you want to talk about FedEx?
Yeah, because, I mean, domestic package shipments in year over year are down 7.8%.
Right.
So for FedEx, it's all been about cost cutting, and they proved they could do it. You know, the cost of airline fuel, the cost of diesel fuel for the trucks. We now have electric FedEx trucks.
Yep.
So they proved that they could do it, and they had to, honestly. I mean, you know, they've had a decent quarter, and the shareholders are apparently happy. So good for them, you know, to be able to carry on, in this environment where inflation's a thing and the cost of energy is rising and all the rest of it, it's been a good run. Fisker, I don't know. I mean, don't forget, they built a platform. It still has value. The sales aren't there. The execution, the excellence in execution wasn't quite there.
Bret Hart?
Nice.
Bret Hart used to be known as the excellence of execution.
But again, what they've built has an intrinsic value. If somebody's willing to step up to take that package and do something with it, will it be the likes of Nissan? I doubt it. If somebody else is willing to buy the value that they put into the platform and the models that are existing, and they do have a customer base, there's still parts and service and things that needs to happen.
Yep.
If somebody's willing to step into the game and assume that, but this is a cutthroat market, lots of competition. BYD and all the other Chinese EV companies. We have the likes of the big three, Stellantis, GM, and Ford, trying to build EVs, but not quite succeeding. So
how important is that charging network? Because, I feel that there's a story about Tesla that we always talk about their car deliveries, and then now today we get a little bit of a negative story from China that they're expecting lower deliveries there, and they've seen weaker demand, and the word was dwindling demand. So I understand that. I feel like buying cars is very sort of cyclical. When interest rates are where they are right now, and you're getting a car note for $799, or I don't know, even a leasing rates aren't super attractive anymore, that's going to hinder, myself or someone that might be financing a car. And even cash has some value to it right now. You may not want to be putting it into a new car that's just going to depreciate. And used Teslas are also going down in price, I think, as you know, on the used car market. So my question to you is, my guy, how valuable is this charging network? Because there's now 20 or so manufacturers that have signed up. We just got one last week. I don't know who it was, Honda or somebody came in, and now they're part of that. Does Tesla make any money in that business or what? Because can't they monopolize the actual charging of all these electric vehicles?
The NACS or NACS or North American Charging Standard was their design. Whether they're getting kickbacks or feedback or licenses from that standard, because everybody else is on board with that standard, mostly, not everybody, but the big guys have all jumped on board. Sharif pulled that list, I think, just about a month ago of all the car companies that have adopted that standard.
Right.
Once you've got the momentum, it's
Tesla,
worth
how does
adopting.
Tesla make money there, though?
I don't know if they actually do.
Right,
they might make a license fee on the NAC standard. I have to look that up. But honestly, is it a big piece of the pie? No. Don't forget, electric cars have become, in the last 5 years, a commodity.
Right.
So the original question you asked was, how important is the charging network? How important are gas stations to your ICE car?
Right.
Exactly. So, I mean, you can't...
ICE car, did you say?
ICE.
ICE?
Internal combustion.
Oh, okay.
I mean, you can't fill your car up at your house.
Right.
You have to go somewhere to fill it up. If the gas stations are closed,
Yep.
your days are numbered.
SOL.
The ability for you to charge at home is wonderful. We don't all have that option. We live in condos, townhouses, apartments, whatever. So charging stations are the lifeblood of...
I know you're still a
EV.
diesel guy.
I'm a diesel guy.
So I mean,
I'm
you get
old
the good
school.
mileage out of that as well. But okay, good. All right, we'll keep talking about that. I think that FedEx report was really huge, and we can have a quick look here just from a stock side of things here and how we maybe could trade that. So we saw FedEx breaking out on the daily. We actually had Daniel Shea on last night, and we talked all about this play there on FedEx. But as I see, though, it's pulling back. I feel like when you get to psychological level like 300 right there, you are going to pull back when and if this chart ever loads. We did have a 280 break. That was the key break. We broke through 270 there, and then off you go. So we needed to break that high off their last report, and there it was. And here we go again, right? So you're going to see you still have this top. So you get up to 300. You didn't quite crack that very top of 320, but here we go again. I mean, as more and more of us shop from home, and it's not about being lazy. It's about changing the way we operate. I think FedEx does have a place. UPS pulling back as well here. I think you could probably get long on any pullbacks with FedEx. For me, the first area would be in and around 270. But yeah, FedEx a good name here. All right. Let's talk about some opportunities right now in today's market. So Reddit, you ever on Reddit?
Yes.
Yeah, cars are big on Reddit.
Oh yeah.
No? Yeah.
On
Okay.
Reddit every day.
Every day. Okay.
Every
so
day.
all right. So Reddit with an IPO, would you invest in this, or I guess you have to look into it. I don't know enough.
Yeah, I'm going to let it run for a bit and see what. Again, it's not just a social media platform. There's other elements to Reddit that are kind of esoteric, kind of almost unique to the platform. It's been around a long time.
Really?
There's a lot of great contributions by the Redditors, the community that supports the platform. It's a unique platform, that's taken this long to come to an IPO. But I think there's a lot of value proposition there, and the content they create and how they curate it is invaluable in some cases.
So there's an underlying story, and I was leaving this for the podcast. See this? Okay. There we go. We're on the same page over there. Who was that? You, Fabian? I like that. That Reddit might run into a problem because they're trying to build an AI that kind of scrapes through all of their data.
Yes.
And then, pushes it on their users and gives them information and all that. But they're having a little bit of a hard time. I feel like this is what the investigation, they're looking into it, in how reliable some of that information is. Because you and myself and this and that could go on there, is my understanding, and almost post whatever you want. Now, there's moderators, and that's an important part of everything. And shout out to Bears vs. Bulls, who moderates our show as well. But I feel like that little talk there about Reddit scares me a little bit initially as an investor, but I'd rather just wait to see. We saw ARM, and I don't know how into the semi or the chips and ARM and all that kind of stuff. I mean, I know you're a tech guy, but we had a great IPO for ARM.
Yes.
This was their first earnings report. So they actually IPO'd here. Let me show it to you and everybody out there. So we actually IPO'd on ARM right here at 56. We had a good couple days, as many IPOs do. Good few days, and then boom, fell down, broke that $50 level, and then kind of just went started edge up. Nvidia's going crazy, remember, during this time. So are all the chip names, and then we get the report, and everyone's like, "Oh my God, we need to own this name." So I feel like that would be a safer play on Reddit.
ARM is almost ubiquitous to the point where, every iPhone is built on Apple makes their own chips, but the actual architecture is ARM.
In the middle.
In the middle?
Hit this one. Ubiquitous? Ubiquitous?
That's a Neil word.
This guy's killing it over here.
Hey. iPhones and your SoCs and everything's built on some sort of flavor of an ARM design. They're in everything.
Yeah, the architecture is crazy there.
I think there's 5 of them in my car. It's so because the IPL, the intellectual property behind the whole ARM platform, has been licensed to the likes of Apple and Samsung and everybody else.
Yep.
I just see it going like this. It's going to go to the moon.
We're still short Meta here. Meta's now $1 in the money. We're thinking this market can come back in a little bit right here. As I want to thank and welcome Randy to the building right now. He's not going anywhere. Any questions or any comments for Randy? Let's go and ask him ASAP in the chat right now. We'll talk about XOM in just 1 minute.
Yeah.
All right, so Tesla's still getting up near the highs of the day and looking like it wants to keep going. So here we go, man. 171.50 possibly here for a break on Tesla as we talk about it, and it goes to the high side. Let me just check in on Rivian real quick. So that already broke back down below. I recently bought this one at 11.25, trying to bounce off $10. Again, the demand's there, but apparently the deliveries are not, Randy. So this name just continues to not be able to get out of its own way. This was that, please don't look at our company because we have a brand new flashy R3 or whatever it was. That was this day, Randy.
Yeah.
He came out, RJ hit the podium there. They rolled out this car that looked pretty small to me, but apparently pretty.
It's getting a lot of hype. The R3 is getting so much hype.
And but the stock is getting down 30% since said hype. So maybe this is an opportunity then. If it's a decent car, the price seems to be right. You just mentioned it's getting hype. Is it getting hype on the performance side of things? What do people like about it?
The design criteria, the price, the range, the technical bits and pieces of what's been built into the platform. Yes, it's not in production. Yes, the one you saw at the release was a pre-production model, but hype is hype. Trade the news. But the underlying production issues, there we go. It's cute.
Not bad, huh?
Yeah. My wife likes it. I mean,
it's a little small, I think.
But that's
what it's supposed to be.
It's not a Denali or a
There we go. Actually, it's nice, isn't it?
I think it's great. It's got a
I
little
think
bit of
it's okay,
retro
yeah.
styling to it.
Kind of looks like a Forester. Well, what has this kind of a back? Is that a different kind of a
Vintage
Range Rover?
Audi on the back
Maybe
window.
an Audi?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's an interesting design cue. And
Oh,
I
yeah,
think,
here we go, yeah.
I mean, again, they built
That is
this
going.
and shrunk it down on their existing platforms. So are we selling a product only on design? No. Do you have to deliver it? Yes. There's obviously more things they've got to do to accomplish that. Solving their, to quote Elon, production hell is going to be a key factor in getting this out the door. Hype is one thing, but maybe that's why we've seen the stock drop since the announcement.
All right, here we go again. Let's just ring a little bit of a cash register out right now and go bang, because there goes Meta to the downside. We talked about waiting for this play. It's now 244. Meta's coming back in right now, hitting 508. Let's see what happens down here at 507 and change. Meta starting to work to the downside. Is there anything else hitting around? I actually just saw Ford just right now hitting, nope, I was going to say hitting VWAP, but again, it is. So my scanner, shout out to Trade Ideas, and shout out to IG right now. Hit that QR code, find out more about IG, and what's up to Frank Caberna, of course, a good friend of the show. Ford not doing much, but Ford, look at this move. Okay, Ford, are we alive? Is the big and the baddest of the car companies alive? I mean, nice bottom there. I mean, everything bottomed in October, but we won't take that for granted. Nice little side move there. We just got another fill on Meta at 508. Guys, so that was good. And then there we go. Nice bottom upside. Looking to now take out this top here, $13. There's what? There's Ford Blue. There's Ford Original. I think there's 3 different divisions now. Can they ever make money on this? What do they have? The Mach Mustang there? What do they call that? Mach E?
Yeah.
The F-150. I feel like that was really hyped up. And then now I feel like I never...
Again,
hear too much about it.
Production hell with the Lightning and recalls, and
again.
it's the Lightning's been an interesting story for Ford, but potentially their best-selling electric and only electric vehicle, the Mach E, is going nowhere.
People want to know about what's up with that shirt. What does that represent? Is that what is that? Cars or what is
Those are
that?
cars.
Right, that's what I thought. Cars. It's a Porsche, is it, or what?
Porsche.
Yeah, Porsche. Okay.
Porsche 911.
Oh, I meant to ask you about that. Porsche or Porsche?
Porsche.
Porsche.
There's an E on the end.
Right, that's right. Because I was listening to another podcast and they were talking about that, and some of them were like, "Depends if you're European or not." I was like, "Really?" I don't know.
There's an E there for a reason.
That's fine by me. I'm going to ask the expert. Nice move to the downside right now in Meta, and that is continuing. Let's just check in on AMD and the whatnot, because we haven't really looked too much at NVIDIA here today. We will check out AMD in just a second. 180 top end there, trying to fade off. So 181. We can play it off the 50 period. It's starting to slope down right now. I kind of like this trade. A trade back in here to 180 using 180.20 or so as the top. I could definitely see that being something right now. NVIDIA, are we below 920? Not even close. Up to, wow. Did we get to 950 today? Hello, what? All right. Almost up to 950 today on NVIDIA. Wow, Randy. I mean, this name just continues to work as well.
Flying.
Huge upside move on NVIDIA. And the funny part about this is, just a couple days ago, you were at 850, 860. So you're 10% up. Like, people want to talk about, like, trading properly. This name might be one that we just have to average into on any dip. Meta is starting to go lower, lower, lower. So this is a print factory for us. We're now $1.70 in the money on this one as we continue to make moves down. I've seen in the chat here, and we're going to let you go. I know you got lots to do, and you want to get home before this storm as well. So I appreciate you for coming through right now.
Anytime.
Any thoughts? Because we keep on asking you about oil.
I'm looking at XOM right now. I mean, it's recovered back to almost flat on the day here. Refined products are going to go up this summer. The summer driving season's ahead of us. The cost of oil doesn't look so good. Some turbulence, we'll call it, in the Middle East. But XOM just, again, recovering just about flat today on decent volume. But there's deals in the works, but I don't know. I don't see the outlook for oil looking so rosy in the next quarter. It's going to be.
You do not like it.
Well, the cost of of everything is going to go up, and it's going to hurt, I think, their profit margins long term. But again, recovery to flat today. We'll see. Again, they had the deal that Sharif mentioned a couple days ago that they managed to beat Chevron on, but there's turbulence, we'll call it, in the forecast.
Recent So we've seen we can watch out for UNG here. I've noticed a recent spike up in gas prices. I mean, I'm driving around here. You know, we were about $1.30 change a liter. Now I'm seeing $1.60, $1.55 if you're lucky in places. And again, UNG kind of hanging around. Forget about this again. It was reverse split again. Still near the bottoms. I don't think gas has much. This is natural gas, of course, but we're nowhere near, you know, peak oil or anything like that. We're still going to have tons of need for oil in the production, especially if China gets back on board here with some of their production as far as goods and whatnot in manufacturing. So, you know, we don't really trade UNG around here. But what are your thoughts about anything?
We have a surplus of natural gas. Prices are depressed. You know, there was a lot of LNG deals happening when, you know, when Europe sort of moved away from Russian supply. That it hasn't been a very cold winter, so you know demand is down, and natural gas prices in the contract especially are actually depressed. So I don't see a long-term play in natural gas right away. And again, summer's coming, so you know those who heat with natural gas, less demand in the summer, obviously.
Yeah.
But yeah, natural gas not so much. Look at Lulu, eh?
What do you like about that one?
Wow, 15%.
The thing is, it had such a huge comeback.
Yeah, it's trying to pull back here. Wow.
I mean, the story with Lulu was they had a good quarter, but again, a little bit of a lighter guide as a lot of these companies now start to worry a little bit here about the economy. But I mean, we touched right into, I mean, as a long-term, I own Lulu from a long time ago. I haven't bought this name probably in 10 years, to be honest with you. But down into here, that's a great support level again. You know, we were there all year, broke through it last year, and really haven't tested back until this last report here today.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not in love. Oh, and the reason why is that I always think that you have a Costco membership.
I do.
So, I mean, I always just think that if I'm going to buy something, like Costco did the same kind of thing. You know, it only went down to the 50-period moving average and then brought itself all the way back up. So I like names like Costco. I like names like Walmart right now that are more retail space related rather than specific, you know, athleisure.
Singular products.
Yeah, like Nike and they had a deal with Peloton as well, Lululemon. I don't know how that's going.
I mean, inflation's still a thing.
You're right.
And you know, people's disposable income levels are not maybe as high as they were. So you're going to go and buy another pair of Lulus or you know, another one of their product lines. You know, people are holding back on their purchases as the cost of living and their lack of disposable income sort of dictates what they're able to spend. So, I mean, you pay your natural gas bill or you go buy another pair of Lulus. You take your choice, right? It's the retail sector's taken a bit of a beating, and that's, I mean, Costco aside, but Costco sells everything. You know, it's again singular product lines, and are they luxury, affordable items, or are they just everyday use items? And it's again, inflation is still a thing here.
I'm really, really surprised how well Google's holding up here right now. Wow, okay, so Google with a nice little move. I mean, considering what this market's doing, we're starting to push down. I mean, we've had a nice little sort of, you know, stair step down. Literally, it kind of looks like stairs here, all the way to the downside right now. And it looks like we may try to bounce in and around here. Now, we only have a piece left of our meta trade, so we'll see if we can let that one cook. But if I think the market has a chance of bouncing here, we're still above VWAP. We're coming into a little level here. We can absolutely hold this meta short and think about a Google long at the same time. So Google up 2% today. We could go over also. So VWAP is right here. I mean, we like these levels. That bottom was 150.50. We're not too far away from it. And the market could bounce off this level as we just mentioned. So I don't mind a long here in Google right now. I think we'll try it against, I mean, we could go against 150. We're a little far away to be loading up against that level right now. But that could be a trade there for Google. I think let's do it. If we can fall into 150.60 or so here, we're going to put a trade on for Google. So that's something I'm looking at. Just noticing, I just want to bring it back to stocks a little bit here. Just noticing that Reddit really isn't moving around too much. I'm putting a bid right now at Google at 62. We'll see if we get that fill. Reddit's not moving a whole heck of a lot. If there is anything you want us to look at, put it in the chat. I mean, Randy will call it up as well. We'll start going. But yeah, Google seems flat. I just saw someone in there, a 20-cent winner might be nice for Google if that does go. And yeah, you're probably right. So we'll we'll slow down, get the price we want, and if we don't get it, we don't get it. DraftKings, you're not a big March Madness guy. I never hear you talking about March Madness.
No.
All right, well, that's on right now. And I would say if DraftKings went up because of March Madness, then I would think it should be a sell right now. And I'll tell you why, because March Madness is happening now. So you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 moves up on, again, super popular. Thousands and millions of Americans and worldwide are right now hopefully watching Trader TV Live and watching the NCAA. So yeah, DraftKings is going to get a lot of exposure, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to exceed what we all think. The demand is already so huge
Demand is
for a lot of this, and the expectations might have outstretched demand. So I don't know that to be the case, but you've had such a great run since the beginning of the year here in DraftKings, 32 up to $50. Now we could still go higher here, but for me, I would rather trim out some of this position. You had a nice base here off the 50 period. It's a nice move up for DraftKings. I just wanted to bring that to everyone's attention because, again, it's starting to break out here to the downside, trying to break through some of these day lows. So just be careful here with DraftKings. It's just one of those things where it's like, the day something happens is the day too late. You got to be in as the rumor develops, and it's buy the rumor, sell the news.
Yep.
The minute they announce something, it's kind of like, okay, like all the hype is there, and then it actually comes out, and that's the dumping spot. It's like, why do people, Randy, only ever ask us about Bitcoin when it's at all-time highs,
Well,
like when it's down there at 15, 16,000, people are like, aha, Bitcoin's dead and everything like that, and they come out with their fangs and their hooks, and they tell you, you're an idiot for investing in crypto, and then everyone's like, at 65,000, like, well, when do we get back in? When do we get in? And it's like, so I kind of feel that way maybe a little bit about DraftKings, but not as feverish as maybe I just acted there. But yeah, I like DraftKings.
As feverish as
I would be selling some of that.
Apple climbing back out of a hole here, but it's taken most of the day, just up, 0.8%. Apple's had a brutal month. They've just been all over the map. I mean, deliveries down, and I mean the new MacBook, the M3, got announced to not a whole lot of fanfare.
Oh, really?
Another ARM-based chip design, lighter, and they put some of the older models on sale. But Apple's been kind of muted. I don't know. You an Apple fan? Watches, phones.
Yeah. I mean, I got the watch. I got the phone there. We got my whole family's involved. We got iPads. I remember I told you we got the. So this is another thing about iPad.
Oh, the cracked screen.
Yeah, she has like a Gen 8 or something like that. It's probably 5-6 years old, maybe even more than that. But again, completely demolished screen. For $100 cash.
Yep.
I told you I'd ask the guy cash. You know what I mean? Yeah, so I'm always, even my kids are like, Dad, why do you always ask if you can pay in Bitcoin or cash? But anyways, no, so I was just, this must be the Italian in me, but no, product quality. It's like they just replaced the screen. She's been having I guess the guy knew what he was doing. The screen held up, and I think that's important too. But I mean, replace the screen. It's running perfectly fine. It's running all the new Roblox games or whatever. The performance, I feel like I just have a 12 Pro right here, and it's not slow. It runs all the apps.
Yeah.
Is that what's yours? 14? 14, yeah. Right. So I just think Apple struggles on product design, meaning that they haven't really changed the design of the iPhone in a long, long time. I don't know if it's 7 or 8 years. It's kind of that same blocky kind of,
right. There hasn't been a really, truly...
It's been an iconic,
earth-shattering, innovative product release. There was the iPod first, and then the phone, and then,
Look at this. Dan, his Mac Pro from 2009.
I have a Mac Pro 2013. I'm still using it.
Yeah. So I mean,
hey,
I don't know. I remember buying or you would buy a I don't know, Dell or something that was maybe Windows based. And I always remember, you'd always wonder if you were going to get a virus or something. And everyone always used to tell me, if you ever bought a MacBook, you wouldn't get a virus. But I think right now, no one really talks about that anymore.
Not really. I mean, my wife got me into Macs, but we're a house full of Apple products. And you know what? You reach that saturation level, and do you need a new one? Just because there's a new one out? Maybe not. You get 3-4 years out of a phone, 4 or 5 out of a laptop. But some of these people are fanatics, and they want a new one every year. When the new toy comes out every couple of years, whatever the next gen is. And I think, they built momentum on that for years. but now it's kind of leveled out. There's lots of competition, and again, the release of groundbreaking new products is not as frequent as it used to be.
And they recently just bought that AI startup there in Waterloo. So, I mean, I think they're trying to do something, but yeah, you can never do enough in the space. They got to come out with something else. I mean, the Vision Pro.
I read a lot of articles on it. I was kind of disappointed in it. I've not had my hands on it. I watched videos.
What's so disappointing about it? The price point, or
the price point? It's $3,500 US dollars.
I mean,
that's a bit of change.
That's not for the average user.
No, I think it's a very narrow sliver of the market. For those who have bought it and I think are still learning how to use it, how to figure it out, the augmented experience. Are there competitors that have done it better? I mean, Meta seems to think that, they kind of brushed it aside. I don't know. I think it's for everybody. Whereas these are mass market.
Yeah.
These are for everybody.
Literally
It
for
has
everybody.
a phone. My kids have a phone. I can probably get one for my dog at some point.
I already got one for my dog. Yeah.
Did you? Okay. I mean, everybody's got phones and watches, and again, you like a Tesla, they become a commodity device. The Vision Pro, not so much.
Put a jacket on your dog. You got find a picture, man. You have a picture? Yeah. I took my little cockapoo for a walk yesterday, and Marissa's like, "You got to put on her jacket." I was like, "Jacket?" Like, okay. She put on the jacket. I was like,
I'm logged in here, but I'll try and find a photo.
She just got a haircut. Shout out to Belle right there, and Marissa. She got a lot of hair off right there at the wrong time of year. You should have shaved her off when it was a little cooler outside there. But okay, yeah. Let's see. What's his name?
His name is Clyde.
Oh yeah, Clyde. Oh my God, he's so beautiful.
And he's a Great Dane, and he likes to sleep. I don't have it on here because I'm not logged in, but I don't know if we can see.
Yeah.
Can we see that?
Middle one. There. Oh my God. Try to back away a little bit.
He's a big.
Weight 2,
He's
1.
he's about 180 pounds. Big, lazy Great Dane. He's on the Olympic snoring team.
Yep. Yeah, that's good. That's always a good.
Loves a good stroll and doesn't like winter that much, and barks at everything. And the Amazon guy comes to the door.
Oh, man.
He on it. It's
that's hilarious.
A cacophony of barking and excitation. But he's a big lovable lug. He's at home sleeping right now.
Yeah, Marissa had a Great Dane and loved it. So they call like huge lap dogs, those Great Danes.
He's hard on the lap, I'll tell you that.
Definitely hard on the lap.
You need a lot of lap.
Okay. All right. So we did buy some more Google down there. I mean, our most recent buy was right here at 60s. So now we're long at 60. So 150.60 for Google. Let's just see what happens now. We actually got at 62 fill. We'll see if we can hold VWAP right now. I was actually going to, because the market's pretty snoozy right now, I'm going.
Snoozy.
Yeah. What's happening right here? It's Friday.
Yeah.
I mean, the market, I thought, remember, we thought that it'd get down here. And we were right, man. We picked up Google at the bottom. It's just, for some reason, it's not going. So we sort of just traded the market, to be honest with you. I'm actually wondering about doing that right now, trading the market.
The market?
Yeah, just like futures or something, because we're pretty dead right now. And I don't want to force anything. We've got Encanto is being played at my kid's school tonight. So it's movie night. Encanto. That's a good Disney movie there. I like that one. So they're... my son's not super excited about it because he's seen it before, and of course, it's just a lame Disney movie. So, and of course, he is 12, so he's not feeling that, but he's feeling the pizza that's going to be there, and he's also feeling his friends.
You got pizza?
Yeah, man, it's a movie night at the school, so yeah, they're throwing it down.
Maybe I'll drop by.
Yeah. I think it's like a not too expensive, $2 a slice or something like that. But yeah, you're more than welcome to drop by. I'm happy that you're dropping by with us tonight. You tell me, man. I mean, you stay for the close. For me, it's all good. That's up to you.
Yeah.
All right. So, I mean, what do you guys want in the chat? You guys want Randy? You guys want Randy? I think I'm happy with Randy here. So, all right. Yeah. And tonight, Brendan's probably preparing as I am hosting the show. We should have a fun podcast. There he is, right there. Yeah, he's looking to get the details going on there. What I want you to think. Let me know when maybe we go off. I'll have to think of a question to ask. I want to ask Brendan something random. I got to figure out what to ask him. Oh, you ever have a Shamrock Shake before? We talked about this the last podcast.
Once.
And it's like minty.
Too much sugar for me.
Oh, the sugar. Okay. Yeah, but
yeah, I
agree. I haven't had sugar is a problem now.
My wife loves them, but
Don't you take sugar in your coffee, or you take sweetener?
No.
Nothing anymore.
Just cream.
Just cream. Okay.
No, I'm trying to
Trying to cut back on the sugar.
And the sugar, yeah.
Not bad. I mean,
Processed sugar and stuff like
getting
that.
way too old.
wondering.
Okay, so let's go back over to Reddit quickly. I just saw someone say that Reddit's breaking. I'm still looking at some of the, so what I do is I have alerts for VWAP breaks, 200 period moving average notes and things like that, but I'm not seeing that much. But here we go. Good call right now on Reddit. So here goes Reddit, trying to break back down below. That was a good call out, whoever mentioned that. This is a good little level right here on Reddit. So I feel like that would have been a good short. If you're short right now, I'd hold this probably back to 48. Let's see if Reddit goes down. You had a nice move down here this morning. You had a nice move into the close yesterday. Actually, that's after hours, my bad, right there into the close. I guess not much into the close. We had a nice move off of 2 o'clock bottom, but that was at $45. You get to there now, you're pretty fine with that. We only went long once on Reddit down here. We made a really nice trade. My number one P&L stock is going to be Tesla, but just behind it is Reddit. So that was a good one right there. Nice move, and we wind up getting about 450 there on the last, and I think we did pretty good about the last quarter of it. We wound up holding it because we knew it had the juice. So, we knew it was going to have juice. Now we'll have to wait to see if it comes back in. I would prefer those levels on Reddit for myself, but you guys can see if you like those down there on Reddit. I would be a buyer down near 45, not a seller. So that would be what I'm looking for down there. All right, so that's on Reddit right here. I'm getting a little bit of an indicator from Netflix. Maybe Netflix would be a good name to trade. The only problem with this is the spread really. And again, okay, so pretty choppy. Whenever you see these kind of gaps in the chart, it's not a really smooth day right there to trade it. I'm going to stay away from Netflix. I don't know. Look at this. The stair stepping up.
Yeah.
You must have Netflix. You have kids.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
This would be the one service that there's no way we would be able to cancel
Nope.
at all. I'm hearing that AbbVie is getting some kind of an approval going through right now. They're a drug company, but not halted, and the news is here. Let me see if I can see it.
Home Depot is climbing itself out of
There it
the
is.
hole here, too.
Just quickly here, U.S. Food and Drug Administration grants full approval for Alahir for ovarian cancer patients. Okay, so yeah, that's awesome. I mean, the more drugs that get approved for any kind of thing like this is great. That looks like that hit at about 3 o'clock-ish. And, again, potentially something here to look for, especially if AbbVie can take out this top. I don't know enough about these drugs. Obviously, the addressable TAM there with ovarian cancer is huge as we look to always try to get that all figured out. So, 171 still on Tesla. I like that break long if we can get going.
Home Depot trying to climb out of the hole that started in this morning, but was there news on this, or did you hear anything about?
Well, how much is it up or down? Nothing?
Well, it's just still down almost 1%, but I mean, look where we were this morning. Like, yikes! It's working its way back, but I didn't hear any news on Home Depot. I mean, they're up 5.6% since earnings, but kind of didn't have the greatest open this morning. I didn't hear about the rest of it.
They're just saying housing-related stocks seem to be higher. Yeah, not much here. They're presenting at a retail conference yesterday.
Yeah.
So yeah, some news there. Just loaded up the Benzinga platform there. You guys can all find that, or go over to Trade Ideas. They have a news situation over there as well. But yeah, not much. You like Home Depot? I mean, Home Depot.
I do, because again, they're not a singular product like Apple or something like that. They're like kind of like Costco, but on the retail side, retail's been weak, and for multiple reasons, not just inflation and COVID and all the rest of it. So they've all been suffering, and they've had to make cutbacks and layoffs and all the rest of it. And the cost of wholesale products across the board is up. We're talking lumber and house goods and durables and everything else. So it does affect their overall profit margins, and it's been a tough year. It's not been that much fun. Their ability to keep going is key. Again, up 5.6% on the earnings report. Not terrible.
All right, you know what? Oh, man, someone just asked me for an idea there on Nike, and honestly, guys, I screwed that one up because I should have had one for you earlier. So Nike was, again, we talked about getting away from this trade. Amazing that we were just so short this name early, and then it just did this. Ooh. But we covered. Look where we covered.
Wow.
It did come back, and we felt kind of silly for covering there, but, up it goes. And I was just saying, look at it. So again, thank you for asking me about it. There it is right there, Hope and Victory. So a shout out to Hope and Victory in the chat. We all hope for both hope and victory, I guess, yeah. So this is the thing, look at it here. So here's the 50-period moving average. it didn't really solve too many problems early. It was just all the way to the downside. You could have potentially, I could have got away. Now this is back looking because I don't know where the 50 period was at this time. You could do tick replays. Again, you could do that on Trade Ideas. You can't do that with our P Pro 8 platform yet. But I think that would be kind of cool, but that would take up too much data, I guess. So I would just say that could have been the breaking long there, so that now, if you really think about it, we didn't break under. We broke under right there, but then you ran into VWAP in the 200 period, so that's not a great technical trade. But up here, you broke it again to the downside with a lot of room. So when you break the 50 period, and it's kind of like a little death cross there, you are going to run into VWAP, and then you got to break that lower. So I almost like that trade better. But up here, that's a great short because you have 95. That's where the 50 period was. Then you have a 20 cent worth of risk. And look at that. Now you're getting paid off 60 cents. So that's a great trade. So for you, Hope and Victory, I hope that this can come back to 94.80 or 95, and then we'd be able to short that, and then victory will be upon us. Because for right now, I don't like this trade. It could bounce off the 200 period. Not enough risk to reward there, but a climb on Nike. Let's hope that it can come up there, and we'll get that 95 short, and then we can play it off that. So I would still respect that 50 period, and you wanted a trade idea. I think we just did a pretty good one right there, in and around 94.80. Where the 50 period is, I think you can start a short. So I like that trade, and I think that has a chance of working.
Having a look at Eli Lilly.
Yeah,
Lilly.
Sure, yeah.
Look at this 1 minute chart, and it just rocketed right here. And I don't know what that breakout is, but what's the volume on that? I know you know better than I do, but look at this move right here.
Well, the volume would be on the very bottom there.
Yeah, that one spike. Interesting. It's only up 1/3%, but interesting look there. I'm trying to find a news on Lilly, but
well, Eli Lilly's that whole Ozempic, Novo Nordisk, and all the drugs and everything like that. So we'll look it up. Like I said, Brendan's busy. Adara's over there right now. I can always look up to see if there's Eli Lilly news. Let me look at it just from my side of things, just to see if there's any like unusual movement here. Yeah. Now remember.
No. Yeah, go ahead.
No. I was just shaking my head there because no. Like, this is, Eli Lilly, you're going to have to see a couple percentage points before we get a little nervous about that. But Eli Lilly today looks to be in pretty good shape. So we'll watch out for it. I think this is a buy the dip name 100%. I just think the chances here, I think this is the 5th largest by market cap in the NYSE at the New York Stock Exchange right now. They've had a pretty epic run to the upside here, Eli Lilly. So I like the story. The other story in the space, of course, Randy, is Novo Nordisk, and that's NVO. So this is another name that, again, nice rise up on the fact that a lot of these GLP-1 drugs do have an opportunity to not only help with obesity and diabetes, but also other possible.
There's an FDA delay on their decision for their Alzheimer's drug, apparently, and that's what's.
That's another big drug in the pipeline.
Okay, that's an interesting move.
That's in their pipeline, Eli Lilly,
Yes.
right? Alzheimer's, yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so just again, real quickly here right now, Novo Nordisk, that's not it. It's Google. So look at the market. We're flushing right now. Meta's $1.70 in the money, so we're happy with that, but we're leaving that right now. We don't have too much to think about right there. We'll let to see if that one wants to work. It's Google that could be a problem. So we're starting to break. Now, we just have, oh man, I hear this stuff in my ear. We just have a little small dump down right now in the market. This is not a huge position. We weren't overly confident on taking anything right here. We talked about waiting for this 150 level. I'm going to do that. So I don't have any more bids, man, until we get down there I did have a bid at 150.30. I'm going to cancel that right now and go into this area, 150.20, where we had bought it before, where it worked. So let's wait to see if we get a little bit more of a dip down here in Google. Again, we don't want to put trades on just for the sake of putting trades on, but we did dip back in there. What else was strong today that we should buy? Alibaba bounced off of 72. Today, so that, not enough action, nothing happening there. But there's 72 again. Nice little downtick there. I've liked Amazon for a minute up at some of these levels. So the reason why I'm long Google is because we've had that strength, relative strength today. The market's flat. Google's still up 2%. So we kind of like that. Amazon, okay, see? So here we go. Amazon's dipping into a nice 200 period moving average as well. So that could be something. Amazon's still up on the day, dipping back in. But do we really want to marry shorts right now? I mean, the market is trying to figure itself out. I like the long because we did get that dip into VWAP and bounce completely. Like Randy, come on, you're not even a trader. I mean, you are a little bit of one, but not minute charts or anything. You could see here, look how good that VWAP is.
Wow.
Like the biggest wick of the day pretty much goes right into that level, then bought right back up.
Bottoms out.
So come on. I mean, those are the levels that we're looking for. So we'll see if we can take advantage of that. And you know what? We should have bought some more Google down there. Look at that. There's the same kind of a move in Google. And now we're back into the money again, although 3 cents in the money. We'll wait for a little bit of a bigger play there. But when that happens, and I feel like this is a good teaching moment for everybody, you want to go over to names where you thought long on.
This potential Apple deal with Google for Gemini,
Yeah.
do you think that's going to impact both stocks? Because that's there's a lot of dollars involved there if that goes through. Yikes. What do you think?
So the thing that I talked about was, remember, when you buy an iPhone and you open up the internet, Chrome opens up, right? So they already have an install base with Safari,
Yes.
but Google has that deal on search with Apple.
Yes.
So the whole thing is that I feel that it can be a very profitable relationship
As
for
much
both.
as I love the Apple environment and the walled garden ecosystem, I am a Chrome user, and for email and for search and for everything
blends
else.
everything
But
together, right?
It does.
I
I,
mean,
think it's a more integrated platform. Again, still love the Apple hardware and Mac OS and all the rest of it, but the maturity of the Gemini platform, I think Apple just isn't there.
Okay.
But the cost of Apple getting into that platform, is that going to be an issue? Or I mean, they've
Would you
got lots of
rather,
cash.
I mean,
but
as a shareholder, would we rather them spend? They were losing what, 10 billion? It wasn't that much. Maybe $1 billion, I think, a year in their car. They scrapped their car business, Apple.
and happily so.
And happily so. I mean, we could discuss that, but
Yikes.
So I was just thinking, like, would we rather them? We don't know how much they bought that Waterloo-based AI company for, but the thing is like, at some point, it becomes more efficient to just outsource.
Yes.
You know, I mean, it's like, why build it in-house when you can have a working relationship with a Google? And again, I like it for Google too, because it would be in their Pixel. They're fine with that. It's their own business. They license out the use of Gemini and whatever, man. They adjust it with the phones, with the watches, with the AirPods, or any.
You focus on
Vision
things
Pro.
you do well, and I don't think Apple was ever
Right.
going to do well building.
So I think I'm fine
cars.
with that, right? They bought Beats. They got the technology for
The
the
audio.
speakers and
Yep.
the audio. Then they went with the HomePod. The speakers in
great.
there. They have good speakers in those,
They have
right?
great speakers.
I don't mind them doing that. So I think that's.
No, I think
what do you think?
The whole Apple automotive thing was, I think, an experiment. And again, let's rewind 5 years ago when there was a lot of hype around Tesla and a lot of hype around EVs in general, that they were the new latest and greatest toy. So you jump on the hype bandwagon, and Apple, with the funding behind them, of course, did exactly that. But to incubate and to learn how to build, and again, Apple's able to apply their technology into the car. But what about the car itself? Okay, you can load it up with chips and cameras and all kinds of other technology that Apple's used to building. When you have to build the car itself, you've got to really outsource, as Sean said, the components of the actual car. And I don't think it was their forte ever from the beginning. And they brought in lots of people and engineers, and outside resources to try and get this project off the ground. I think it was doomed from the start. The money they spent, they learned a lesson. Not to say that Apple's perfect, they're not. They put a lot of failed products on the market. They didn't really sell well. I mean, the Vision Pro could be the next one. You've got to try something, but I think that the car was a failure from the outset. Not to say that it wouldn't have been a great product had they put it on the market. Would it have sold well? Probably not. I don't know. Not their forte. Glad they tried it, but really, I think I'm happy that it's no longer a thing. There's been lots of car companies that have come and gone. Fisker could be the next one.
Ooh.
I know, but you know what? Fisker made
that's true.
a better
Why not?
effort than
Whatever.
I think Apple ever could have. And it's not to take away from their technology expertise. It's just that building cars is not the same as building phones. You know, so
It's a completely different beast. Right?
it is. And again,
warring.
you can apply technology to a different vertical. Doesn't mean that it's going to shake that vertical in their favor. So
Okay.
I'm kind of happy it's gone.
Just real quickly, Randy, while you're here, we'll do this. Thanks for talking for a little minute there because it allowed us to get a little bit more out of Google.
There we
So
go.
there it is. It went to the 50 period. So we're out there at 70. We just talked about buying some 60s. We get some out at 70. I think we might have got to 74 there as well. Now we'll wait to see if we can get back higher, man. My next offer is not until the 80s, and then we'll see if we can get into here, 151, and then take out some of those highs. So again, let's spin it for that. And then we did also put it out here. I went over and bought another name that I know is near and dear to both of our hearts a little bit anyways, maybe more to yours, but I just bought some Tesla. It came into the 200 period moving average right there. I'm going to buy it off of this dip into 170. I said I wanted to buy some strong names here into the close as we dance around that VWAP. We came back into it just now again. And look again, Randy, we're bounced right off of it again, supporting that level back to the upside. So let's see if Tesla can do something similar. It's been a strong name despite being down 1.4%. We were down 3 or 4% earlier. And as you can see here today,
Clawing its way back.
yeah, so we were short, and then we got stopped out. Still my number one stock. Maybe we'll fall down here, but I like a tracement back to 200. Look at this. There it is there. It hits it and bounces, and now we're retesting for the first time right now. So let's see if we can hold these levels, and that's really what I feel like. Okay, yes, sir. We're doing pretty good now. Meta's holding, but Google's starting to go back up. We just wicked. Oh, so my net just took off a little bit there because we got 280, but then faded back out a bit there. So let's see if Google can go. We'll see if Tesla can go, and I'm going to buy some more down here at 170-ish. Like I'm at 170 teens, and then we'll see if we break through 169.80 because the imbalances are in like 25 minutes or so. By the way, I asked if everybody likes this on the chat, and we get like, yeah, man, Randy's great. Randy the Macho Man Savage is here. They like you. They like the change of pace. So that's that. So thank you so much for that, and thanks, Randy, for coming through. Just quickly.
Thanks to Neil for going to spring break.
Yeah, thanks to Neil for going on vacation. I didn't think we'd say that ever, but thanks, Neil. All right, so here we go. A nice little break higher here, and CGC could send this thing. Again, man, I like this break here at the end of the day. I mean, we're looking for something to trade, and honestly, the way this thing's been moving, why not, man? I mean, I don't know if Reddit is on this name or what. Like, CGC seems to be real spicy here today, needless to say, up 61%. My opinion.
Wow.
I'm having a hard time saying that I really think that we should just be hammering this one. And the reason why is that where's your out? So if you go long here at 70.50, I don't know. That's the 50 period. It's not. I mean, it was great there. I almost feel like you want to take enough shares to be able to hold it back to $7. I think if you break that, Randy, see how this was kind of the top, and then we broke it, but then it came back and hit the 50 period, and then it went. So I feel like if you break again, see right here, we broke this, we broke it. If you go back an hour, you could say, oh, if we take the high, go long. Okay, so now we're stuck long here.
It's been kind of bouncing off the 50 pretty much for the last while.
Maybe we wait for a dip buy?
Buy those dips.
Buy them dips?
Rivian's making a bit of a
days?
climb back here, just down, I guess 3% in the day, but it's come back up just a little bit. It's poor Rivian. They got to get their production woes figured out, but I think they'll be okay. I don't know. We're going to find out about production numbers in 3 or 4 weeks. There's going to be an interim production number. That'll be an interesting tale to see where we are with the R2 and the Amazon delivery vans, which are kind of their bread and butter. You know, sales aside, there's a contract for those vans. We talked about FedEx with electric vans.
Right.
Those Amazon vans, now I've not seen one here, but they're all over the States apparently. They're everywhere. A friend of mine was in LA and he saw them running around in Los
What do you know
Angeles.
about that deal with Amazon? Because first of all, Google's starting to go right now. Tesla, here we go, baby. We're at 170.60. Let's go. Can we put 30 more cents in our pocket, man? We have the Randy man beside us, but I told you, I said before, it doesn't matter who's sitting beside us, man. We're just going to start to trade. We're going to do what we do. Like, we're having these great conversations. We're also putting on winning trades for you right now. We've had a great time with Brankles. We've had a great time with Obi. We have a great time with Neil. Join us tonight, and we'll have a great time again with Brendan. Man, we don't ever stop working around here. I don't know if you noticed that.
Notice that. Want a coffee?
I probably would.
I'm grabbing a coffee.
You're going to go right now and get a Are you coming back, though?
Yeah.
Okay, then go get a coffee. Yeah, Randy, I'll handle this by myself.
It won't be long. You want a coffee?
Yeah, I'll take a coffee. Yeah, man. Yeah, can't you see I'm losing energy here? No, I'm not. All right, but the first one, by the way, see, just so everybody knows, it's like half, but it's cold. It's cold. Okay, thanks, man. Much appreciated. All right, I'll fly this boat myself. Fly a boat. Okay, that would be the problem right there. All right, so you can see Tesla's starting to come back to the upside right now. And yeah, the reason why I bring that up, I just want everyone to like sort of, we're putting out, some of this content, and that's why I'm asking you guys in the chat, we're trying different things. We have a great midday show. We have a few different segments that we've been giving you guys here recently. We brought Brankles on just to show you sort of, the different trading styles, the different personalities that we have. And I hope that you guys can, withstand me. I don't seem to be, I seem to be getting along well with everybody here as, oh no, Randy nailed that bear off there. Was it a bull? Maybe that's why it was a bull. But we actually turned a little bearish here today. But guess what's happening to Google, guys? There it is. I mean, look, there's Google. Here's the buy. I mean, we've given you, so I like this conversation, and the reason why I say about the different styles is like, it kind of feels like we're just like, running back, like we'd be at a bar, conversating, working through some of these ideas, a little different strategy, or a little bit different relationship than we have with Neil when I'm doing that with him, so on and so forth. And I just think that no matter what you're doing, this is kind of the benefit of what we have here, and that's the environment, right? And it's the ability to pass ideas off of each other, have a good time, enjoy, like he's gonna go grab a coffee, have this kind of laid back kind of personality. And that's the thing, no matter where you are, you can join a trading floor yourself, unless of course you're in the United States. Why would I say no matter where you are? Join Real Trading. I mean, we're in lovely Toronto, Ontario, Canada, anywhere in Canada, anywhere in Europe, unfortunately not in continental United States, but over 50 plus markets, man. And I actually, yesterday, I got a message from Lars, which a lot of you might know, who helps run the campus program. And he messaged me, and there was an individual here that came from Quebec, and it was a recent, I don't know if he had graduated yet, but he's pretty close to hitting the goal that's required to make it to the next level to get funded, I guess, and go live for the campus program. And, he met me. He actually had on a Trader TV Live hat, and it was great. I didn't think he was going to let go of my hand, to be honest with you, when I shook it. But all is good, all is well. And yeah, we had security immediately. No, that wasn't true. But anyways, it was great to meet him. He talked all about his trading style. And actually, he's trading the Canadian market. So that's kind of what I was going to throw that to you is lots of different markets for different folks, different styles of trade, and just a great opportunity to learn. Join Real Trading, realtrading.com. Okay, let's just go over some of the trades now. So there it is. We'll go long there. It's not a huge trade, man, but we get long at 30, we get out at 60. That's 30 cents. It's really just about this. We are green today. I'm not having like a monster day. We're going to be third right now in the office, and it's still a pretty good day. We didn't have like that monster trade today for us, but it's still okay. Actually, second, right there in the office, but still so. It's kind of as Tesla moves around and changes. So we'll wait for that. Google's still that 25 cents. I'm debating getting out a little bit more here on Google. There it goes. Okay, well, we just offer 86 and it blows right through us. So we'll take out another piece there on Google. I was waiting for O's. If that comes in, great. If it doesn't, great. We're almost out. We're trying to trim out some of these positions. As now into the imbalances for tonight, let's have a look to see if we could be a little spicy. So Visa with a buy imbalance. Let's see what that stock is doing here into the close. See? So this is why I don't really trust some of these imbalances that we see sometimes. as as Visa goes to the downside. We've been seeing some TD Bank weakness lately. Talk about the Canadian markets. TD Bank with the sell side as well. Thank you, Randy, as he's back, baby. We took that 30 cents on Tesla. We're going to see if we can get more on that one as well. Google's starting to go up, back up to the upsides. It doesn't look like those imbalances are anything right now. So oh yeah, there it is, man. We'll go. I joke about diamond hands, of course. I'm going to tell my wife, because my wife really likes Randy. Me and Randy been on now for 45 mins. Watch, she's gonna be like, yay, why didn't you tell me earlier, probably. Okay, and you remember, you met my wife probably 20 years ago, honestly.
It's been a while.
Maybe 16, 17 years ago, when I met her. I mean, when I met her, you met her probably, so there you go.
That's better. Okay.
Much better. All right, are you juiced up, ready to go? Because I don't have much cooking right now other than a win on Google. That's 40 cents. $1.30 on Meta. And now, a little quarter right
Rivian's
now.
pulling back
here.
too, eh?
You like that Rivian trade? You want me to go over there and trade that? What are you seeing in Rivian?
We're up to 0.2% in just
Rivian.
5 minutes here, and it's coming back. I mean, like I said, at the end of the day, it's pretty quiet, but it's just
Zoom
trying
back
to
out on that
watch.
chart, man. Zoom back out on that. That's
What do you want?
Zoom out. I want that top
hour?
left. No, right here. Yeah, in the middle there. Yeah. Over. No.
Which one?
Stop.
Where? What?
Move this. The magnifying glass.
Oh, the magnifying.
Zoom out. There we go. See, this will give you a better look. See.
There we go.
So this is why, we'll get through all this, Randy. Like, you'll teach me about cars. We'll go back and forth about charts. When you see a chart like that, Randy, what does it tell you?
I haven't a clue.
Right,
No,
me
I'm just
neither.
kidding.
No, boring. There's not much happening. If you could put your little cursor down there to the bottom and show everybody, go down, you're using your hands, go down, right there. Oh, stop. That shelf up. There. So I feel like that was a good buy because look
Yeah.
at the last couple hours. We did have some support down there.
And it's pulled back.
And now it's pulling back to the upside. So where would we short this? No?
No, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. I don't really like that name. We'll hold off on Rivian, not much happening, and have another sip of our coffee.
Coffee's good.
Any plans for the weekend?
Gonna go home and shovel snow.
What?
We're
Is it
getting
that
snow
big?
at
Really?
a
No.
couple inches, I think. So and
Okay.
there's more coming. So
What kind of luck do you have giving it to your kids as a job? Shoveling.
no luck.
No luck. Same.
Well, I have a snowblower.
Oh, so you're just having it for fun out there.
Yeah, I mean,
takes a couple seconds.
For them, it's playtime. They're older, but they've asked them to shovel, and they're like, nah. I'd rather
I thought
not.
I was being like this, like really kind of mean dad, and I was like, yo, you guys don't shovel this year, no more Robux for you. Like,
Yeah, I wouldn't do that.
stuff like that.
mean.
Stuff like that, because no, it's part of their chores. So the only
Yeah,
job
mine
my
are-
12-year-old has, he's got to take care of his room, laundry, put it away, and all that kind of stuff, and, handle his bed
Take
every
away
day.
their Roblox, though. That's
No, Robux.
Oh, Robux.
Stop buying them.
Yeah.
Robux, not Roblox.
My kids are 16 and 18, and they have no impetus to shovel whatsoever.
No.
They're not into it. I
So
mean,
the story goes is that I told them, so this year you guys are shoveling. We've had one opportunity this year to shovel.
yeah, I've started
it's
my
like- it's
snowblower once.
Such a burn.
It is what it is. I mean,
like
we're
last
getting a
year
little
they're
bit
not-
of winter
Yeah,
now.
It's not
but-
even, we're shoveling. Marissa just sent, there's nothing happened. See, look, Marissa goes, Randy, with a big laugh emoji there. Oh, man,
Marissa.
Sure told her earlier. Maybe she'll.
We're getting a last lick of winter, and I think it's going to be over in a week. So, whatever.
I heard
It's-
+4 on Sunday, so it melts everything.
I'll take it. I'm not a fan anymore. I mean,
3:30.
I don't ski anymore. I don't snowmobile much anymore, and it's kind of
Yeah.
You just
Ice
drive-
fish.
you-
Ice fishing. You've been this
Yes,
year? I haven't heard
twice.
you- Oh, okay.
Twice.
Normally you tell me it feels
You know
like
what?
you haven't.
Overall,
By the way,
the
Google Moon.
winter,
Google Moon.
Google Moon.
What's up with that, Randy? What's up with that, my guy?
Go baby, go.
You won't believe this. I just tried to punch out, and the thing literally just went down 10 cents. So there you go. It's season order, and it literally tanks. I'm at 25 right now. Let's see if we get that back upside. But what's up with that? Nice. We get it. Did we get filled there? Yes, we did. Yes, sir. Right there.
Kaboom.
Kaboom. Goes to dynamite.
Not bad.
Having this talk, I feel like we could be having a beer right now. You know what I mean? Having good times and enjoying a good little afternoon of trading. I mean, we're adding to our net here. We're having a good time. The man, the myth, the legend says Diamond Realty of Miami. You ever been to Every Day? I'm shoveling. I like that one. What's up, Zamalek? Little Rick
Every
Ross.
Day?
You don't know who Rick Ross is.
Do not.
Good. That's good, probably. All right. So he's from Miami. A rapper.
Interesting.
You know, not Christmas presents type.
No.
Rap Christmas presents, you know? Okay. What else here? Any other names there? You got Rivian on your mind?
I just want to go back and check Home Depot again, if you don't mind.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Did you want to look at the Home Depot on the daily chart or
Yes,
what?
I do.
Okay. Yeah. Have a look
Hold
at that
up.
because
I'm just curious as to the move and see what it's doing. It's,
I wonder.
that, XOM, and Lulu were the only three I was watching this morning, but there wasn't a whole lot going on.
So when you talk about watching stock, are you looking to potentially make some swing trades? Are you looking to invest in maybe in a little bit of longer term?
No, I don't really
plays?
hold much any longer than a couple of days tops.
Okay.
It's all about the moves. I mean, I'm trading with the frequency that you guys do.
Yeah,
But
oh, no. You actually have a job, Randy.
I actually have a job. I just mentioned to Adara, we were out making coffee, that I sit on Reddit a lot and grab, news feeds and listen to a lot of conversations, not just the auto industry, but about, other stocks in general, just some kind of inside information and just see what's going on. There's lots of interesting, that's why I love Reddit. I'm a Redditor. Lots of interesting things going on out there. I just don't have the time.
Right.
There's always something else to do, maybe shoveling snow. But lots of interesting plays out there. So that's my strategy, Just a couple of things. I do follow XOM. I do follow, obviously, the auto industry. Every morning and every evening it's on my sort of to read list. But I'm interested, that's all. So I have my daily sort of digest. You have your sticky note. We all have our sources of not only news, but just general information. And then there's some insider information.
Sure.
So
I feel like that's what the Reddit forums are actually all about. We actually have I got to go find it because there's a graphic that we're saving for the podcast. Yeah, Randy's probably all good there, Brankos. Manage the. Where's the rest of the people on the floor, by the way? Did Brankos fire everybody or what? What happened over here?
They gone.
They gone. Maybe, you know what? It's probably the weather.
They're sick.
Some people are sick. Wayne's on
Sick.
vacation, went to Hong Kong. Shout out to Wayne there as well.
Nice.
All right, what's the Lambo trade with engine light on? Lambos have bad reputations for repairs? I don't think so, do they? I mean, how's your Lambo doing? It's all right? It's all right?
It's all right. Lamborghinis.
Did you just see my screen flicker there, by the way? Did you see it go black?
Did not.
Okay.
Might be your leg shake. Loose
What
connections.
does Randy do for your job? Do you want to explain what your primary job is around here?
Oh, Robbie's on the ones and twos. Look out.
Oh, Rob's over there. Uh-oh, that's why
it's-
I was like, why did someone almost
that's why your
throw
screen's
up
flashing.
over there?
Rob's over there. Robbie, we got a loose connection on one of Sean's monitors. We'll have to fix that.
I'm not doing anything over here, but no. So you work in networking. I mean, what was your network engineer?
Director of IT. Which, we do everything. We bring coffee and we
Director.
keep the lights on and
Yeah, man. I've known you for, like I said, I mean, you were here when I started here. So I've been here since 2002. Yeah, I graduated university. My very first job was here. So
02.
yeah, 2002. Wow. Yeah, man. 22 damn years.
cheers to that.
Used to have hair.
That's a hell of
All right,
used to
cheers.
have hair. Yeah, I
Yeah,
was
man.
in,
And then you've been here how long?
98.
98. So yeah, you got 4 years on me.
We're dating ourselves, but that's...
No, everyone knows we're both
happens.
36-ish.
Yeah, Home Depot's flat too. There's not much going on. 36. Interesting.
We glance over that stuff.
I know.
Stop talking about age. Okay, as we go. All right, so we got out of Google up there. Let's just address this Meta. It's 3:37. We're having a lot of fun. We already talked about holding on for the dream here on Meta. We really got a lot of covers here. We cover at the 200 period, man, and that's exactly what we did. So nice little cover down there for Meta. We're just holding on to one last piece. If you guys are still in it, I mean, honestly, this push back here to the 50 period, you're now swooping up there. there. And again, like that's an indication for a long, not a short. So we're holding on to this short right now. But we've made not a heck of a lot of money, but we've about doubled our net here in the afternoon just by trading off this Meta, trading off this Tesla, which continues, Randy, to go higher and higher and higher. Oh, did we find that Randy graphic ever? There was a Tesla one or a car one. Did you ever find that, Fabian? No? Okay. Anyways, that'd be kind of cool to hit right now if we had that. But there goes Tesla. Nice upside move. We'll see if we can break the high of the day at least here at 171.20 or so. Or at least this high. Were we up higher earlier on? No. Okay, so that's right. So we're already kind of at this breaking spot right now. We just got to get a little more. I think we can do that into the close. Let's see if Tesla wants to work. It's a 50-cent winner right there, Randy. So we'll take that. 50 cents there on Tesla, 70 cents here on Google. And then Meta, we're just kind of waiting to see if there's anything happening.
Here's one for you to look at. Have a look at BOH.
Bank of Hawaii?
Bank of Hawaii down 3%. Wonder what that's all about.
Are you impressed that I knew that was Bank of Hawaii without looking it up?
I knew that you knew that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Just wondering, that's...
Ooh, down 3%. So some of these regional banks have had issues. So
a rough ride?
Yeah, a rough ride as they... the problem with the regional banks, and again, see the volume here, this is not tradable for us.
Yo, I know, it's pretty low volume.
So if you do like regional banks, you want to go over to the KRE, which is the regional bank ETF. So much more volume, and you could see still a nice little downside move. The problem with regional banks, and again, not my specialty would be to talk about the financial system, but is the fact that they have a lot of commercial real estate.
A lot of exposure to commercial.
Right, a lot of exposure to commercial real estate.
Yep.
And as a lot of those either big commercial buildings or even bigger apartment buildings and newer developments like that tend to be emptier. We have, by my house, we have a huge like factory that was bought and gutted and nothing's moved in there. And it's been like 4 or 5 years, you know what I mean?
Empty.
So, empty.
Really?
Completely empty. Yeah, I think they're waiting for. I'll tell you about it after, but I think they're waiting for a, someone to move in there and possess that.
You should grab it.
I should grab it. Yeah, that's what I should do for sure. I don't have enough to do, so I'll probably do that as well. But yeah, we'll get some real estate. Oh, were me and you going to go in on that place in Aruba there, or the Bahamas, or what?
Ooh,
because we need to go. We need to have some vacation time.
It's
timeshare, baby. Anybody have timeshare? Like,
oh man,
I always kind of think like sometimes I feel like you could get scammed and stuff.
And yet I've got friends down there, and they were down there. They spend the winter there, and it hasn't been hot.
Great, yeah, I heard.
It's not been that warm. Like high 70s, mid 70s. It's not. It's warmer than here, but it's not.
It's not like the best it's ever been.
No, so I don't know if the Bahamas is the place to go or not, but...
I mean, we've been... It's a harder sell now because we didn't even really have a winter.
True.
So, like, you feel so much better about just hanging around here now.
Yeah.
Like, we went for walks pretty much every day. Like, this winter's been great.
It's been wonderful.
That's funny. Good one, Zamalek. We have a little bit of an Adara-ism. Bank of Hawaii is down because they're expecting rates to go aloha. So, and with rates going higher and higher. And speaking of that, what's going higher and higher is right now people that took the advice that we had, that we did not take ourselves, Randy. This is flying high, that's for sure, and this is CGC. Remember we were debating it, Randy?
Yes.
We said, if we break that high, what are we going to do? We both kind of said we should be punching this level potentially. We didn't do it because we couldn't figure out where to get out. But hey, right now, if you're long there, I hope you took that advice. Unfortunately, I'm not in it right now. But nice little break there of 740. Let's see if we can get higher than this now into, again, we've zoomed this out before. I'm not in it, but I'll still talk about it because I know there's a lot of people that are in this. Just hold on. There it is.
Hold on.
So let me just show it to you right here. $7-8. We've already been up here. This goes back to December of last year. These highs, $8, $8.23. So as you approach those levels, it's been such a monster move in the last couple weeks here for CGC, including going through that reverse split here. That's not a couple weeks ago. That's back at the beginning of the year. And then now you finally get that announcement there in Germany and CGC holding medical licenses and whatnot. And that was a good play. It seems like now, for those of you that have been going long on CGC, and you'll be having a good weekend for sure on those profits right there. So there we go. Look, someone's going to lend us their timeshare in Florida.
I'm up for that.
Yeah.
I love Florida.
I would shout out my good friend Nelson, who was in the chat before. I actually stayed at his place in Fontainebleau right there, and that has Live nightclub. And the wife, myself, and both of our kids went there. And a big shout out to that. He took care of everything. That was fantastic. We had a great time down there. Plane tickets were pretty cheap as well. That was a great time.
The drive down
shout out
to
Nelson.
Rotonda, Florida. I love Florida. It's
I haven't
Gulf
been-
Coast, though.
Yeah, we went to Miami there, and we used to go as a kid. Like, we went to Dunedin. We talked a little bit about that, going for the Jays. And I've been to Disney. Is it Land or World in Florida? One of those.
Disney World, I believe.
Disney World. World?
World.
In World. So, yeah. And then I went to, was there something that used to be called Busch Gardens?
Yes.
Like, I rode around on an elephant. There's a picture of me back on an elephant.
You rode an elephant.
Yeah, man. It was just like a ride.
Did you walk normally after that?
Yes. I did.
You rode an elephant.
Yeah, man. You could sit on an elephant and ride around.
How old were you?
Like 6 or 7? Yeah, you could do that. Yeah.
Ride an elephant.
Yeah, man. What do you mean? Why is this so hard to believe? It's like at a theme park.
Sure.
Like, you know how you go, like, we've read, you know when you go to farms and you ride ponies and...
I've ridden a pony, but
There you
not
go.
an
Of
elephant.
course, you haven't ridden an elephant. That's what I'm telling you. I did.
Okay.
But yeah, so that was, Tampa. So there you go, Busch Gardens. So yeah, that was in Tampa. So,
Yes.
So we went there, and then we had a lot of fun at Universal Studios
Yes.
as well, man.
Universal's
A
awesome.
lot of cool. There used to be an Indiana Jones. Now that's under Disney. That was a lot of fun.
My favorite parts in Tampa is Ybor City. It's a
nice.
closed-off area. You can walk around for
Oh, really?
several blocks in any direction. Lots of bars and clubs and lots of great restaurants. Amazing seafood.
Is it Tampa? Where's ARC going, Brendan? Somewhere in Florida, Kathy Wood is it Tampa?
Oh, Kathy.
I'll find out. St.
Oh,
Pete.
St. Pete. Okay.
St. Pete, yeah.
Have a look at Tilray.
Yeah, Tilray's another one of those names.
It's on a bit of a tear today.
Tilray.
I'm
Let's see. Yeah, so again, getting some of that marijuana sort of, tailwind. Again, not as good as a trade there as CGC because of the German aspect. Tilray has big investments in the United States. So they've recently bought Afria, not recently, but a couple years ago, amalgamated into that. So I feel like, Tilray and then MSOS. We keep talking about them as an ETF. Let's see what they're up today. Probably down. Okay, so yeah, very specific here. This is an American, I guess. Maybe that's why. But why is MSOS down? Okay, the market's starting to get going upside a little bit right now. We almost have that dollar, Randy. Tesla. Look at that take.
There we go.
Look at that damn take. The chef is cooking.
Despite the fire
right now?
at their substation in Berlin and China sales being, diminished or flat across the board, and people are selling some of their Cybertruck reservations, which don't tell anybody. There's been some negativity and some turbulence ahead of their whole run for a while, but Elon's pushing on, so it's nice to see them claw back. I'm waiting for some more good news for a change.
Right.
When that'll happen, I don't know. There's been lots of things promised, and he has a habit of doing that. The Model 2 and Mexico news and other things we're waiting for. But nice to see that pullback.
Randy, I'm going to get out. All right, so if we can get out somewhere around 171, man, we'll just take this 70 cents. I mean, honestly, we started from the bottom, now we're here. And, we're starting to get up to the upside right now. So we're going to try to take a piece out right now. It's the high of the day. And we ran into here, into the close. We still do have those imbalances to come. So that's still something that could hit at any time right now. So 350, I don't know which way it's going to go. Let's get out of Tesla. I'm waiting at 97. Let's hope it hits. I could just punch out now, but we should be able to get it. Let's be a little more greedy out. But in being greedy, we gave up the last piece. So the good thing about Tesla is that we're still in half of this trade. So, we still have shares on this one. I might just get out right here, right now. Let's offer something in and around. There we go. We offer 92. Randy, that closes that trade here. Another one,
nice.
Successful one there for that trade. We'll put it in our pocket and, not worry now about said imbalances into the close.
You're buying brisket.
I'm buying the brisket. Oh, my God.
I know.
Yeah.
How long has it been? like too long.
I think you told me like 2 years ago or
I know.
something. We'll need to, I don't think it was I think it was,
Last summer.
no, yes. No, I think it was like last, like spring, like around now. Because we mentioned it, we said when the weather gets better, we're going to go. And then we never went. That's why I think it was.
I could use some brisket. Right?
Yeah, we're going to go get some brisket and then we'll do that. Yeah. So DK says you remind him of Tom Hanks. I think you'll take that, no?
Tom Hanks.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Is it? I don't know.
Run, Forrest, run.
Yeah, man. There we go. Take it.
Sure.
We'll
Thank
take
you.
it for now. Why not?
Why not?
Yeah, I'd say that's fine. Okay, so thank you for that, DK. All right, we'll exit out of Google. Look at that trade. Look at that, Randy. Come on.
Wow.
I mean, what are we talking about
we
here?
go.
So that's a great fill up there. Again, just sit in front of the penny, right? We talked about where we wanted those levels, and that looks like a good fill for us on Google. So yeah, I mean, to say that we're having a decent afternoon would be correct. So that's
Considering it's a Friday and there's not a whole lot going on, but yeah.
yeah. I tend to take a little bit of an opposite view on some of that sometimes. And I said this earlier, and I meant to talk to Sharif about this. You know, the thing about it is like, whatever the time of day is the time of day. The opportunities are everywhere.
You make best use of it.
Yeah, and it's just kind of like, yeah, it's just, I want everybody to have as much confidence in their trading abilities to sort of put on a trade and then not worry. We just get out right there to end right there. I feel like you always want to be conscious of the time of day because I do think that there's opportunities at certain times that may be better than other times.
So we have the imbalance coming shortly.
So we have the imbalance coming short, and I think that this is a very good point as well, Randy. And that is that the imbalance can definitely change what happens here in the market. So let's call this up right now. We'll get rid of these brokers because we don't care about them anymore. We'll just care about the market, and we'll have NASDAQ coming through and the NYSE in just a matter of seconds and 20 seconds as it's 349.40 right now. These will all update, and then we'll start to see some flying around. So my meta trade, I'm going to cancel my stop. It was going to be at 510. Let's just see what happens here with meta. Hopefully it comes as a sell imbalance, and then we'll figure it out after that. So here we go. Make sure you all join me for the podcast. And there it is, 350 O's right now. So now the imbalance is out. We'll wait. Adair's not at her desk, but maybe she can yell it to me if she sees it. The imbalance will come out, and here it goes.
Softy's a buy.
Yeah, so there it is. So yeah, let's talk about that. So Microsoft's a buy. So boom goes the dynamite. A nice little 67 cents to the upside right there. Ford, where was it? There it is. No, oops, there's that. Oh, so everything's a buy. This is good. Yeah, 5.3 to buy. So it's 5.3 billion to buy. Things are starting to rip up. So this is going to make my Tesla outlook silly. Not really. Still, Tesla's not really bumping up. Let's check out what Google's doing. Still a good out for us on Google right there. So I'm happy with that. Meta starting to go to the upside. Do we see Meta on here? No, we do not.
No, we don't.
But look at this, man. NVIDIA. Oh, no, Randy. A nice little 700. How are they going to pair this off? They're
Google,
not going to.
718,000.
They're not going to find enough liquidity to pair this off. Google could be a monster into the close. NVIDIA. We could watch this into the close here. That's going to be hard to pair off. Where is that size? Who's going to take 700,000 shares? Who's going to sell that much into the close? So that's something that I worry about right there. That could fire up, or it could just get paired off. So we'll wait to see there. There it is now. See? So someone just took down 100,000 shares. It was 7. Now it's 6.
Amazon.
Look at this starting to go upside. See, sometimes I give advice and I don't take it myself, but there it is. Nice little upside move here for NVIDIA. I think we could really climb on this 5.3 billion share, $5.3 amount of a buy imbalance there into the close. So yeah, here they go, man. And just to show you, like, there it is. Sometimes these imbalances, and again, this is for you, Randy, like, as just a normal investor who doesn't really care about the last 10 minutes of trade, these are little things that can change, man. Option prices, little stupid things like that. Like, look at Lucid here, not a big buy imbalance, so that's not going to affect them. But, you know, if you're an Amazon trader, that goes from 178.90 all the way up to 179.20. So anyways, those are the imbalances, and that's kind of some of the effects that we can have on stock, bringing Amazon right to high a day again. So I'm going to get out of this meta trade. It's 10% of what we had, but my target was 510. So if we break 510 on the imbalance, we'll just get out. I might as well just get out now. Let's just get out now for 25-cent hit. Any
5 cents
any
is
thoughts?
better than no sense at all.
Yeah.
I'm going to go back to XOM if I can bring it up.
Sure, yeah, just go. You can tab over, by the way.
I know, I'm just old school here.
There might not be anything happening.
We're flat on the day.
There we go. We just covered at 70 there on Meta, so we'll get that cover and out. So we covered for what we were short at. So that's okay. A little bit of a give back there at the end of the day on the last 10%. We said NVIDIA had a chance to go. Let me know when your chart's ready to go on. And look at this. Wow. We called that NVIDIA move. You know, we were looking at down here at 941, 942 just 3 minutes ago. There it goes, higher and higher and higher. As I should have just punched that imbalance. Oh, man. Uh-oh. Is it 55 yet? What's Apple doing? Look at Apple. Why didn't we identify that? Ooh. Apple with a sell imbalance of 1.5 million shares. So that's into the downside. Apple doing 55 million shares today, starting to go to the downside there. I'm still looking for NVIDIA. So it's under 500 now. There it is. Oh, NVIDIA turned to a buy. So same buy. Sorry, didn't turn anywhere. Same buy. Look at NVIDIA. It's going to be very important. Like, this might not get paired off. This could spike right at the close, guys. As the NASDAQ's going to have to sell shares of NVIDIA to pair this off. So let's wait to see what happens here into the close right now. So that's what's going on right here. Palantir, will Palantir print a green week? People in the chat asking. Let's have a quick look at it and find out. As Palantir does have that buy imbalance. No. Well, will it be a green week? I mean, without, actually putting that into a chart, if this was Monday, looks like Palantir is going to have to get above, what, 2450? So I don't know about that, but maybe it will. That's Palantir on watch right now. I don't see much else happening, guys.
Not much going on.
Did you get XOM?
There's Apple. I moved on to Apple, just having a look at the close to see what was going on there, but up just 0.7% on the day.
Pretty boring, I feel like.
It's a quiet Friday.
Yeah, pretty quiet Friday here into the close. So, okay, again, thank you everybody for watching. I want to obviously thank Randy. I want to thank Brankles, who was here. We still got Brankles on there on the bottom. That's not you, Randy, or is it there on the bottom left there of the screen?
That's me.
That's me. My bad. Yeah, a little bit. So a big shout out to Brankles and to everybody today that came through and really, stepped in for Obi and for Neil. Neil's going to be on vacay for the rest of the week, next week as well.
Wow. Next week too?
Yeah. I believe.
Wow.
I think so. And then Obi, I don't think he's spending that much time because spring training is over.
No, not yet.
The Blue Jays home opener, though, I think is Tuesday or Thursday next week.
Is it?
Yeah, baseball starts today.
Not for everybody, though.
Not for everybody.
No,
Some teams are playing today, so I believe, anyways. Okay, so Obi will be here next week, and then Randy maybe could hop back on.
Sure.
Why not? Yeah, people seem to like this. So, all right, did NVIDIA turn around? Let's go have a look quickly here at NVD. Oh, it's because Palantir was a New York stock. Okay, so a little bit of a turnaround. Let's call up those imbalance locator. And did it exactly get paired off? Must have been. I don't see. MO. Philip Morris. Okay, big sell, but not doing anything. Let's sort it by alphabetically.
Ford's still on there.
What was that?
Ford.
Hold on a second. NVV.
NVDA.
NVVV. Here it is.
Oh, there it is.
NVDA. Yeah, so it's a small buy now. Wow, they got 1 million shares done. Okay, so NVIDIA's doing NVIDIA-like things right now. Still a buy. You can start to see it go upside a little bit here. Still a buy of 83,000 shares, but NVIDIA doing a little bit of a dance there into the close. AMD, I'm not going to, you know what, these imbalances now, it's too close to the end unless it shows up. There's AMD hovering around 180. I was like, Apple's not at 180. There's AMD hovering around that 180 mark, so a decent day for them coming through again there for Advanced Micro Devices. Up today. It had a worse start to the day, as it was all the way down here at 175, a nice gain back of 180.
How did ARM do at the close?
We'll look at this next week for sure. ARM at the close. Yeah, I mean, I think we should. I mean, you like this stock here?
I love
it's a great long-term stock.
So do I. I'm very enamored with how this has played out. Very enamored. Again, lots and lots of product being built on their licensed design. So license fees are their bread and butter, and there's more to come. So yeah, I'm very much interested in how this plays out.
People really appreciate you being on here and asking about you coming on the podcast at some point.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So we'll get that all figured out as we...
We'll tee that up.
Yeah, we're waiting for it because we're just waiting for a better setup with everything. And definitely everybody check tonight. Check out the podcast as our stream seems to be having a little bit of a issue there. It was going back and forth, but I think that was on purpose to identify that there is no market recap show tonight. So we had a great week of, we had Micron earnings, we had Nike earnings, we had Lululemon today. You talked about FedEx and that earnings report that came through. And then next week we have more to come. We have GameStop next week. We have Carnival Cruise. Oh yeah.
CCL.
Yeah, what about cruises? Are you for or against cruises? Because I was thinking about going on a vacation.
Not my cup of tea, but
okay.
To each their own. No.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. If you had, what do you prefer now that we go into snow or rain?
Ooh, I prefer rain because you don't have to shovel it.
I was going to say, because as you go home into...
You know, I mean, we haven't had much winter this winter. We haven't. We can't
We've been lucky.
complain loudly or if at all. We just, for the northern climate, the Rust Belt that we live in, we haven't had a long winter. And the older you get, the less I care about that because it's, I'm not a fan of shoveling. If you're a skier or a snowmobiler or, a person who loves winter activities, it's been tough on the ski resorts this year.
Very tough.
Snowmobilers, the B&Bs and the resorts that cater to winter activities, it's not been a fun year for winter in parts of Canada. I mean, out west, early in the season, they got a lot of snow. Now, not so much. You go to Mont Tremblant or go to...
Yeah, depending where you're at.
Yeah, it depends where you are. So my kids are skiers, my wife's a skier, but we haven't done much skiing this year. So winter's a thing. It's obviously it is what it is. We can't control the weather, but it's been a tough year for resort operators and for anybody who around this area enjoys winter. Not been so much activity.
Yeah, it's been a little bit of a rough ride for some of those businesses. You know what? They will survive. You make when it's good. You don't when it's bad. So okay, there you go. I don't know if you saw my screen flitch there. All right, countdown right now as we get ready. There's Adara just standing out there chilling out. I hope Adara has a great weekend as well. And here we go right now with 3, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Thank you, and thank you for everything, Miss Adara, today as well. She's always killing it. I don't know if you noticed that, Randy.
Always.
So thanks to Adara today. I want to thank Brankos as well. I want to thank Real Trading, our #1 sponsor, of course. Real Trading, go check them out at realtrading.com. You talked about not much on plan for this weekend. That might be a good idea. I've got to go to Ancaster tomorrow.
Ooh.
I know, right? It's like 40, 45 minutes.
Oh,
it's for hockey. So.
Yeah, hockey.
What else are we going to do? And then my kid has a hockey. So we have 2 hockey games tomorrow. And something on Sunday, but I don't remember what it is. And you're not doing much. Stay inside, relax.
Yeah, I mean, the weather's going to be what it is.
What is your go-to takeout food? Like if the wife was like, let's order in tonight, what do you guys...
We typically do pizza, but... There's other, I prefer to make
barbecue.
dinner.
Yeah, same.
Oh, yeah, good barbecue. I'm a big chicken wing guy. I love wings. I could eat 2 pounds of wings, but,
Kids are finally into
the kids kind of dictate the menu.
Right.
So we get
16 and 18, they're not too picky, are they? My girls love sushi.
My kids love sushi.
So that is
my wife, no.
That is,
so there's a bit of a battle there, but we mix it up.
That's always wins for me.
I could just eat 2 pounds of wings and be happy.
I was out the other night at that wrestling event, and it was a lot of fun. Edge and Christian, I don't know if Chris Jericho was there. Anyway, it doesn't matter. And they ordered sushi, so they stayed in and ordered that.
I could eat sushi all day.
I like a Thai,
all day.
like a good noodle, like a noodle dish Thai food, something like
Yes.
that. Okay, thank you, Randy. Thank you for coming by again, my guy.
Anytime.
Always a pleasure to do the show with a guy like Randy. All right, join everybody tomorrow, because the podcast drops at 10 o'clock. Find us on Spotify, on iTunes, on Apple Podcasts, whatever it's called. Find us there. There's a QR code, a link that's going to go out on Trader TV Live. Are you trying to put this darker on me right here? I'm trying to advertise the podcast. You see, turn those damn lights on. But no, just playing around. Find our Twitter handles tomorrow for everything. Thank you, Brankos, again for the big show. Always a pleasure.
No worries, pal.
Take care. Drive carefully if you are going, and I will see you on Monday as well. So from everybody here, Randy, wrap it up.
Have a good weekend, folks. See ya.
Okay, ciao, ciao.
Don't worry.